It's interesting. I've been a black man all my life, so no channel switching or anything like that. Um, and the thing is, there isn't a more confident, um, urgent, energetic being sometimes than to be a black man, especially when you got your mojo going and everything's working well. I say this because I fear that we always look for the overt ways to eliminate, but I fear that there are covert and subversive ways, condescending techniques and tactics that are being used even by people who are allies, people of the same race, even people who, for lack of a better word, really think that they're helping. They could be hurting. They could be enabling. Or because they're living their lives the way they are, people want to exemplarize how they live their lives and marginalize the rest of us. I fear these things. But that's why you got to keep on keeping on. Shawn's show is about to get started. We got a loaded show. Got a lot of great guests. All fellas tonight. Sorry, ladies. Or you're welcome. We're gonna be live on the IG as well. But if you want to actually see what's going on the show instead of listening to it, flip on over to my YouTube page, jshawndurham. With that said, let's start the show. This from Body Butter Bakery. The Shawn Show is brought to you by bodybutterbakery.com. Visit www.bodybutterbakery.com for beard and body oils, hydrating shower gels, nourishing body scrubs with popular scents like strawberry lemonade, mango and pineapple, and champagne apple and honey. Yep, all that and more at bodybutterbakery.com, a proud sponsor of The Shawn Show. Yes, sir. Body Butter Bakery. They've been rocking with us for quite some time. And hopefully we will get a chance to see the maker of the product again. She's been taking a break from our shows. She usually appears. But Body Butter Bakery, we rock with her. Go to bodybutterbakery.com and check out her products that way. In case you can hear it, you probably can. I have a serious, I lost my voice this morning. And probably because I was out raising hell the other night, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, with that said, we got a great show tonight. My man, Dr. Ira Davis, is going to explain an issue that's going to end up leading into another conversation that will bring up my usual road dog. Ty Wilson will join us. And then Fernando Savage will join in on the conversation. We'll have some jokes and some conversation there. Have a quick intermission. And then Walter Maxfield Jones, he'll join us and join the panel in the second hour, and we'll round it out with my brother and favorite comedian, because he's always come on the show, Marlon Ballard. He's got a tour coming up So yeah, we're gonna get into that. If we can find Dr. Davis, he'll explain that issue in about 5 minutes. But first, Jagged Edge, Inseparable, here on the Shawn Show.
Kinda instant like some ramen, yeah. We got a lot of things in common, yeah. Before her, just wasn't shit. Nah. Cause I was pinned up, she made me let it go. Yeah. She all I needed now. Hey, she my heart beating loud. Why can't you win me, yeah. Oh, chemistry, babe. Chemistry, that shit on auto. We click so quick like lightning in a bottle, you know. I usually don't even follow. All up in my photos, me and her, we like inseparable. I know when you got that good thing. Yeah. I know when you got that good thing. I usually don't even follow. All up in my photos, her, we like inseparable.
Fellas, now I got y'all here for the photo shoot.
Our photo shoot or your girl photo shoot?
Never seen your girl. She came and banging from the door with it. Really heavy, changing up my flow with it. Came in with a whole new energy. Had me crushing old moves, questioning my energy. She's so fine, she made me make it. And all the other girls that remain dangerous. All the secrets, they come stay with us. Really gonna ride with me the way I ride, but other than that shit dangerous. Our chemistry, that shit on auto. We click so quick like lightning in a bottle, you know. I usually don't even follow. That shit all up in my photos. Me and her, we like inseparable. You got that good thing. Better know when you got that good thing. I usually don't even follow. All up in my photos. Me and her, we like inseparable. When I first saw it, I thought that my DM just caught a body. Every time that you see, you know that's me. That's just so obvious. I can't even picture myself being with nobody. DJ know that after the original, it's probably this. It's probably us. And I didn't mean to make you think we wanna fight. I usually don't even follow. All up in my photos, how we like inseparable. You hear me like inseparable. And I ain't never letting it go. Hear me like inseparable. You hear me like inseparable.
That was Jagged Edge, Inseparable. And yes, that did feature the main actor in that video, Mr. Phil. What's his name? It's something Haitian. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I forgot. Guillaume. Phil Guillaume, like Robert Guillaume. But anyway, this is our own man show. I was gonna call it Man Show, but that was some old Jimmy Kimmel shit with Adam Carolla back in the 90s. But this is Shawn Show tonight, and tonight's theme is a bunch of men talking shit. I already got myself a nice glass of something brown. And I got my man, my lifelong friend, Dr. Ira Davis, to explain the ish. So he's about to get going. I just saw him in the green room, and then he disappeared. So we're Dr. Davis. Dr. Davis. Dr. Davis. Let's see if he's here.
What's up,
hey,
bro?
Dr. Davis, how you?
All right, peace, brother.
I'm chilling like a fan, you know. I was going to play your theme music, but I erased it long ago. But you know what? We're gonna have a whole new revamp of the show, the Shawn Show, come January. I'm already renovating the Shawn Show studios as we speak. And come like January, like maybe MLK weekend, that Tuesday after that, we're looking to get up. I see you wearing a Black Father T-shirt with a bunch of Panther symbols. Is that indicative of the ish that you about to explain?
Yeah, kinda.
So every week, or whenever I can get him available or squeeze him into the show, I ask my good friend, since he always thinks he knows everything. I said, why don't you explain some stuff on my show and use that professorial doctor's degree to the benefit of the peoples. So the peoples are about to get a lesson from Dr. Davis explaining some ish. What is the ish you're about to explain tonight, Dr. Davis?
All right, so I'm explaining the hashtag boycott the Woman King.
Explaining the boycott of the Woman King.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a little. Let's see if we can add a. Yeah, there it is. All right. So I want you to explain this ish. You think you can do it in 140 seconds or less?
Yeah. All right. So basically what happened with the Woman King when it came out, there was some backlash to this movie, which, again, the title itself, The Woman King, kind of oxymoronic, a woman king. Mm-hmm. But in that particular story, it told the story of some Amazon-like women, the Anoje, who were in the kingdom of Dahomey in Benin in West Africa. And these women...
Dr. Davis.
They were generally protectors of, they were generally protectors of the community, of the nation of Dahomey. Mm-hmm. And this came about at a time when Africa was in turmoil during the slavery, which had gripped that region. But the backlash came from this. Number one, you had white writers of this particular story. Much of the story was fictionalized, and many people felt that the story did not go out of its way to talk about Dahomey's involvement into the enslavement of other African nations that surrounded that particular area. All right, so many people feel that that it was much fictionalized and more or less told the colonizers' point of view rather than the point of view of the Africans. And many people, also they were, taken aback, again, just that title, The Woman King. So that's the ish, explained. I can give you my own commentary on that if you like.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, in fact, I'm going to bring in my man, Ty Wilson, mm-hmm. and we'll just have a little round table. I'll let you kick it off. Tyrone, is you there? Oh, see, I have like 1,000 things up. This thing gonna blow up on me. Watch. Ty, look alive.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's happening,
everybody?
Brother?
How we doing?
We good. So
good.
Dr. Davis just explained the issue with the controversy surrounding the movie The Woman King, which is an interesting title altogether, and basically laying out that the story was fictionalized. And while I know a lot of Black women love this movie, the story was fictionalized. And in fact, if it is correct, Ira, the tribe in real life were actually slave catchers, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they
were some of the biggest traffickers. I'm thinking the biggest African nation that trafficked in slaves in that particular region. The Dahomey in the Benin area of Africa. What you'll find in the Nigeria, Benin section of Africa now.
All right, so we got a few minutes on this segment. Give us your thoughts. now that you've given us the ish, give us your thoughts on this whole thing.
I mean, my thoughts on the whole thing. Number one, I'm gonna say this: I didn't see the movie.
Okay.
I was taken aback by the title itself. Oftentimes, when you hear this, I mean, the title of the Woman King, it pretty much played out the agenda that's at play now. All right, so you got this woman king.
Oh, there's that magical word, agenda.
Yeah.
All right,
go
ahead.
And there you have this thing that's kind of going on where they're elevating the black female. So if you're elevating the black female, what are you subtly saying about the role of the black male? If you got this woman king, where's the black king at? Because in general in societies, it's the male role to be the king. It's the female's role to be the queen.
Right.
All right. Also, so that was my main reason. It's just a lot of stuff that's just going on right now that's abnormal. And it's like abnormality is being put to the forefront right now. So when it came to seeing this particular movie, this is one that, me and my family, we kind of said, nah, we good on that particular movie because we could see the agenda at play.
Your wife, Dr. Howard Davis?
Yes.
Not Howard Davis, y'all. It's Dr. Sherilyn Howard Davis. So
yes.
Yeah, you and the other Dr. Davis in the house, right. Y'all said no.
Yeah. So we could see the agenda, at play. And so with us, we see that there's this imbalance that's being put out in society where the black woman is being raised up, while the black man is being pushed down. All right, so you see all of these women, they're putting all these particular roles. So when you saw the trailers and everything for the Woman King, you saw all these women put in these, black women put in these masculine roles. Like one of the things that slavery did to our people, the enslavement of it was to degender us, right? So they made the black man and black woman work equally, and they had to do equal work. So now you got these masculine looking women who are out there, doing all these amazing things, and it's good to have a so-called black superhero or a black character, that you can look up to, but these women are more dominant than the male. When we know that in general, men are stronger, our bodies are just naturally stronger than that of the female, but these things are being put out, at play where we see, the rise of the woman, the subjugation of the male. Also, when you look at other things like the new Black Panther movie, I didn't see that movie either. Just in looking at that.
And now also, full disclosure, we're Marvel fools. Right?
Yeah, we are.
We are Marvel fools. You did not see this new Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Why is that?
And it's like Marvel did not replace the main character. I mean, this is like the only major black male character that has his own comic book, right? Many of the other black characters, oftentimes, sidekicks.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the major character, male character. All right, so this is the only male that we really got who can go kick it with the Captain Americas, the Iron Man, the Spider-Man, and all these people, on an equal footing. But in that, we're given like what I saw in the trailer, like death to the king and the rise of these women. It was like the trailer looked like the Woman King Part 2. So I kind of opted out of seeing that.
I'm gonna jump in here and get Ty into the conversation, and then I'll share my thoughts. All right, Ty, you've absorbed all this about the Woman King and Wakanda Forever and Black Panther. Give us something.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie, any of the movies. I have so many different thoughts, though. I feel like anytime you have this subconscious feeling where they're trying to, I guess the word is demasculate the black man, emasculate the black man, is because it's because it's sensitive to you, and you take it that way, you know, so it stands out more. I feel like the two can be mutually exclusive. I feel like you can big up Black women without it necessarily mean that you're taking the Black man down. There were some things that I found out about the Black Panther that I thought was kind of disappointing. They didn't bring him back, but not only didn't they didn't bring him back, he had a kid out of wedlock. So,
right. So I guess this goes to the spoiler rule.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, because literally that was 1, 2. So it's been 2.5 weeks, but most people know that. I know the ending and all that. Yeah, carry on.
So, you know, I feel like there is some subconscious agenda out there that is being played. I've been saying this for the longest time. You watch any Saturday Night Live skit with Black people in it, it's a negative imagery of Black people.
Or
you know?
Keenan has to play, the Black man has to play the woman characters as well. You know,
so
like put her in a wig.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna do a little devil's advocacy here, but I largely side with a lot of what y'all saying.
Right.
Here. And we're here with Dr. Ira Davis. He's joining in on this conversation. My wingman Ty Wilson is with us. We're gonna have Fernando join in on the conversation in a little bit, and then we'll say bye to Ira. But we're gonna hang out here for a little bit on this piece. We're talking about the Woman King, in case you're just jumping in from IG. And we're also talking about possibly the emasculation or the agenda. That word is always circulating or rising when Black men have conversations like this. I will say, from a storyteller's point of view, the Black Panther story could feel organically necessary. The thing about Ryan Coogler, we know Ryan Coogler to be, as a filmmaker and a man of certain things that he believes in, a pretty righteous brother. You know, he and Michael B. Jordan are always trying to put their best foot forward and express Black manhood. So on an organic level, I mean, okay, T'Challa's dead. They didn't recast him immediately because Black people on this idiot format got online and fussed them down. They better not. They were all being emotional. They better not recast him, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, what happens every 6 years? James Bond gets recast. We've had 4 Batman in the past 15 years, I believe. I think we literally have 3 Spider-Men right now.
At the same time.
We got 4 Spider-Men if you include Miles Morales. At the same time. So Black people, first of all, this is a lesson to Black people. You will get what you ask for. Sometimes shut the fuck up. Because now we have a movie where there were nothing but women and M'Baku. All right, there was a cameo. My real problem with the movie is this. Where are the African American men? Every time, and I'm going to say more about this in my Shawn says at the end, every time they look for new ways, and I know this happens, this is my industry as well. I know this happens as well with some Black women, but they try to overlook the Black American experience, especially Black men every time. There are some Black women cast in the mainline roles in this new Wakanda Forever. And yes, I understand it's an African movie, but it's a fictitious African movie, which is owned by an American corporation and was created by an American Jewish comic book writer. So everyone who thinks I'm taking the shit too literally needs to shut the fuck up on that end. It's a Shawn show. I'll tell people shut the fuck up all the time. Where are my Black American actors? It shows you the void that Chad Boseman left when he left us years ago. Where are the contemporary Black American men? In the last one, they killed Killmonger. So Michael B. Jordan's gone. Forrest Whitaker and his lazy eye, he's gone. Sterling K. Brown, he was dead. So they had Black American men in the centerpiece movie of Hollywood for Black folks.
Can I chime in, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so how I look at exactly what you're saying there. All right, so what happens in that realm, again, we talk about the agenda, the plot that we've been talking about. All right, so in that plot now, you're left with others coming in who they may look like us, but they don't share the same experience as we do. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes to being caretakers for our history, caretakers for our story and our sojourn, that we have gone through as a people.
Ooh, I like that word, sojourn.
Huh?
I like that, sojourn.
Yeah. So now you can bring in others who don't feel the passion that we do, the connection that we do with our history, and now you can undermine our history through those who look like us. And we'll run and go see it, because when we see the image, we're gonna see someone who looks like us, but they're not casting the people who look like us. So like you just said, now the Michael B. Jordan character gone, the Forrest Whitaker character is gone. Even though they're still alive, their characters have been killed off, and so now there's no one left to. Now they can fill the void in with black actors who come from other nationalities, who are not going to carry the line for what we're going to carry.
Mm-hmm.
And also, let me hold over on this. I know you're getting ready to switch segments.
No, but we can do about 2 more minutes on this.
Okay.
I think
Also,
Fernando went to get a drink. 2 more minutes, man. I'll see him in the green room.
Yeah, I want to carry this bridge over.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Into what we've been saying, the emasculation of the black male, and how society is raising the black woman by putting the black man down. We, in the last month, have seen 2 public butt breakings of black men. We saw Kanye West.
Yeah, we get on that.
And we saw that of Kyrie Irving. And so they were publicly butt broken. It's like they went, the powers that be, they went and got the 2 biggest bucks, and they broke them in front of all of us. But for all of us to be able to see, look at what happens when you get out of line. All right, this is supposed to be your strong black man. Look at how we just weakened him in front of everybody.
You can't assert yourself like white men who talk all day long and say whatever they say and do whatever they do. Whether they're right or wrong. Hell, we had a president who was wrong as shit, and no one said anything about him or do anything to him. He wasn't broken. You're right. I know we're converging topics, and I want to keep this going, but I do have to change. But I do want to address, and I love Sister Sherry. Sherry says, the movie was good. Most people didn't know about the Dahomey and the Agoji. Black women weren't seen as savages. Also, it's nice to see black women and men be each other's helpmates. My thing about that, Sherry, and thank you for the comment. My thing about that, why do we take real history to create fictitious stories? I don't believe in that. We're history people, Ira. I believe in whatever the history is, you tell the story of the history, and sometimes it's complex or complicated. They didn't have to use those women in that tribe to tell that story. They could have created a story if they wanted to. They didn't have to, Viola Davis stamped her seal of approval on it as the executive producer, her and her husband, but we're always bastardizing our history.
Well,
and then other people will come in and do the same thing, and we expect them to get it right. We'll screw it up. Like, I'm tired of Tulsa being used as a flashpoint when there were 100 other lynchings and burnings and razings of black neighborhoods and towns in America. I don't need Rosewood to have a John Voight sympathetic white character. I don't need a fake rape to be considered the reason or impetus why something happened when that rape was not even the situation. It was just because white folks were mean as hell and they wanted to kill niggas. So why are we doing this to our history all the time?
Well,
black women get patted on the back all the damn time. I know some sisters say it's hard to be this man. This is a man show, so I'm going to be out about this real quick. You got 3 networks. You got movies targeting yourself. You got executive producers. I'm a writer. Let me tell you what I get. When I go to look for grants, and there's a big, huge database that I dig through, the one group they're not looking to hear from? My straight heterosexual black ass. They look for LGBTQ. They look for women. They look for white women. They look for transgender. They look for Hispanics. They don't ever, and these are mainstream, not just NAACP. You know, like it's not like an ethnic group looking for. These are Main Street theaters. They don't ever say, you know what, we want to hear from a brother's perspective, unless we shooting the ball, telling a joke, or running a ball or something. We don't want to be. They don't want to listen to us. So that's all I got to say about that.
Can I chime in, brother?
Yeah, chime in, and then I'm going to bring up Nando.
All right, so here's the thing. Most of us don't understand racism and what it is and how it works. Racism in America is between two groups: the white man and the black man. Everyone else involved in there is just some subgroup involved. Our women are what's known as, we're gonna take this word, booty. Treasure.
Yeah.
The spoils of war.
Right.
All right. So they don't want to hear from us because in the war, in this thing called racism, there was a race that was established to get all of our resources and everything from us, the black people. Mm-hmm. The whites won. All right. And out of that, one of the spoils of the war was our women. So they don't want to hear from us, all right, because we lost the war. In the issue of racism, our opinion is null and void. Going back to what you just said about history, why do they always fictionalize history? The reason why our history is fictionalized is because we don't know our history. And so what they are doing through propaganda is feeding us this semblance of our history. Mm-hmm. Because what the white supremacist always does is that he takes both sides of the issue. He don't just take one side of the issue. He takes both sides of the issue so that he can control. There you go. So he can control the narrative on both sides. And most of us don't see that. All we see is that, we getting a great Black Panther movie. We getting a great Woman King movie. But when other people are producing that, what I do is I always look for the agenda. Even when we have movies that's produced by us. Because we've been educated in this society, and most of us are not thinking as deep as we should. You know, we're going to give the abnormalities in our culture and big those things up. Again, in the 90s, we had the hood movies and all this stuff like that. Look at in those movies, what they did, they showed this inappropriate behavior. And we've been trying to combat this inappropriate behavior that was put on Front Street for the last 30 years.
Ty, you got something to button hook on that, and then we'll take a quick break and bring in Fernando on the other side. And I think Walt is trying to get in early. This is a hot topic. I got to drop it right here. But Ty, you wanna try to touch any of it? I didn't. You know,
it's so much, man.
But it was about to happen. That's why we're gonna have a comedian later on, so we can lighten the flow.
Yeah, like I said earlier, when it's important to you, you become really sensitive about it. You know, and I feel like it's just mainly up to us to try not to look at the underlying messages that they are trying to say and not rely on a movie, you know, to spread the word for, you know, our youth. You know, I think we have the responsibility, you know, to show, like you were saying, the bad messaging. Like, we have a responsibility to show otherwise. I just feel like Black positivity is not entertainment that sells, you know? So I feel like you're not going to see a lot of that. So that's just my quick thoughts on that, you know?
And the thing here is because we're their entertainment.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we allow that too. Yeah. You know, we allow that. We accept those roles.
Yeah. And but also this we gotta look at also is that all of the media outlets, like think about this. During the 50s and 60s, how did the word get out about the civil rights movement and other things important in the community? through media outlets that we own. We own the newspapers,
the black newspapers, the black radio stations.
We own the
churches.
radio stations. We own those things. But when integration came, one of the and again, when we got integration, we thought we were winning the war. We really lost. Because the plan was laid out was that basically they went and bought all of our media outlets. So now when it comes to putting out information, to putting out what is considered good entertainment for black people and all this stuff like that, all of these media outlets, we don't control them anymore. So everything that's distributed comes through the lines of white America now. And when they feel we go too far, right, what they will do is they will cancel us on their platforms.
I agree. All right, so we're gonna have to leave it there with Dr. Davis, unless he's available for an overtime chat, which will happen immediately after the show. Right. Although I think Ty and I might get a drink afterwards. With that, by the way, I'm having a drink right now, Bullet Ride. You need to start drinking, my Hotep friend. With that said, thank you so much for explaining that ish for us, Ira. We're gonna keep these conversations going. I'm gonna leave you. You won't be able to respond to this because you'll be gone after this break. But I'm gonna leave you with the new, and this is the actual new ad because you're in the state. The new ad, Raphael Warnock, of people listening to Herschel Walker say dumb shit. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Ty, hang on the other side. We'll bring back Fernando. This is the Shawn Show.
You ever watch a stupid movie late at night hoping it's gonna get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night I was watching this movie. I was watching this movie called Freak Night, or some type of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are cool people.
What the hell is he talking about?
Is he serious? Is he for real?
But I'm gonna tell you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that?
What is he talking about?
I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I want to be a werewolf.
Oh my gosh.
He's talking about vampires and werewolves right now.
Y'all serious about this, right?
So I've been telling this little story about this bull out in the field with 6 cows.
Earth.
And 3 of them are pregnant.
There's no substance. There's nothing.
So you know you got something going on.
It makes me want to laugh, and then it makes me think we're in trouble.
But all he cared about is kept his nose against the fence, looking at 3 other cows that didn't belong to him. Now all he had to do is eat grass.
This video is ridiculous. That's 35 seconds of my life I'll never get back.
Why would I want someone like that leading the state of Georgia?
Our good air decided to float over to China, bad air.
Unbelievable.
So when China gets our good air, their bad air gotta move.
It's all the same air.
Not only does it make no sense, I don't even understand what he thinks he's saying.
So it moves over to our good air space. And now we gotta clean that back up.
I sit and watch these on Twitter, and I'm like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Like, literally, what is he talking about?
He's completely unqualified for this really, really serious job.
No one's watching this and being like, oh man, that guy's got it together.
And sometimes, like, I read through the comments because I'm like, is anybody actually understanding, or are we just sitting here wasting time?
It is embarrassing. Let's call it what it is. It is embarrassing.
They just care about getting a yes man, somebody that had just punched the button.
I think it's a risk to me and millions of Georgians to put this man in a position of power.
Let's call it what it is. This is embarrassing as hell.
At all. I mean, well, you know.
Oh.
And we're back. That was a legitimate ad that's literally running right now by the Warnock campaign, just simply regurgitating Herschel Walker's idiotic words. Now, Herschel, and I'm full disclosure, University of Georgia alum. I got my Georgia gear right over here. Herschel is a legend in the state and a great running back. But he clearly been concussed and hit his head a few many times. And we're talking about a man who's been broken, buck breaking. Yet the Republicans could have put anybody up against the black senator from Georgia. They said, hey, how about this black guy? They didn't even have to go for a black person. If that ain't the most condescending shit you will ever hear, sorry. I told you guys we were going to get into it a little bit. This is Shawn's show. My man Ty is right up there, harumphing, looking at me like I didn't want to talk about this shit. Nando's here. Everybody unmute yourselves. Let's get into it. So we just saw Herschel Walker's comments. First of all, what do y'all think about that? And then we'll have Nando recap whatever he's heard, and we'll just get into it. Thanks for joining the show, Nando.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. How you doing, everybody?
What's good, Fernando?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Chilling. Y'all ever see that movie Dinner for Schmucks?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The Steve Carell movie with yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I see that over and over and over again. You know what I mean? I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, he's still gonna affect the numbers. And to me, that's really all they want. Do you know what I mean?
It's still very close too.
It's a sad state. I really have never heard of Herschel Walker's speech. You know what I mean? But from the little bit that I have seen, it's not a good look. But I don't think they care. You know, if they can get anybody black to represent the Republican Party, they would. You know what I mean? But there ain't nobody in line to be representatives for them because, you know, in the end, we feel like we have a good understanding of what they stand for subconsciously and the tone that they use. You know what I mean? Like, I know I have heard the leader of their party speak hundreds of times, and I know that language. You know what I mean? I know what he's really saying, and I know how the people are feeling when he's saying those things. So, like, in the end, man, it is what it is. It's going to be a fight. You know, we're going to probably fight this battle for the rest of our lives, you know? So we just need to be smart about, you know, how we go about it.
And if y'all got some comments you want to make about the content you're hearing and we'll chime in, feel free to do so. The chat room is open. Nando, what are you thinking?
It's embarrassing. I mean, let's be honest. Like, to see a black man in that position, he's not qualified for it. And unfortunately, the same thing happened with somebody else a couple of years ago. They were able to get into office without having the background, not having experience, being able to go through the politics of actually campaigning, going from the bottom to the top. For these folks now, they're just getting anybody to stand there and be a yes man for them, and it's sad.
Let's break it down. Let's get it down to brass tacks, right? I always like that term, brass tacks. He's a football player, an ex-football player. That means he's a buck. If you look at it just broadly, you know, Ty, you have a football player brother. He's not a buck. He's an intelligent black man. Herschel Walker is just a set of legs walking around, impregnating people, impregnating white women, driving them to abortion clinics, hiding children, not letting people know that he has children. He has lied about being a cop. He's lied about his success as a business owner. In fact, people think that he might be actually in debt. And when white people in Georgia, these are my people, so-called Christian, morally upright folk, accept all of this because they know he will be a rubber stamp and a counterweight to the Democratic agenda. He's literally the stereotype. All he needs to do is show up with a sliver of watermelon and a straw hat and some overalls and ask what time we eating fried chicken, barefoot. He is the epitome of every minstrelsy that we've been subjugated, that's been thrust upon us, even in the 21st century. And 21st century white people can't even see that. Or they do see it, and that's why it's a 50-50 race against the man who literally preaches at Martin Luther King's church. I feel upset. I'm sorry, guys. I felt like I was a lead balloon on that. Anybody got any thoughts? We can move on.
I mean, Tyrone was spot on when he said that it's like dinner with schmucks, because we're talking about werewolves and vampires, and you're the leader of the state. We're supposed to look for you, for us to become better and to move on and to grow. And he has no substance. He has no depth to him. He's just saying anything comes to the top of his head.
This fool said we got enough trees. and China wants us to take their air, and we're gonna swap the air. He has a bunch of personalities as well, and that's the other thing too. Because we could talk about this because Ty, I know this. I won't say this is your account, but it is kind of your account because you have your own YouTube show, My Mental Health Journey. But this is serious. Herschel Walker has multiple personalities. He's been clinically diagnosed as having multiple personalities. He's held a gun to one of his women's heads. He's not remembered certain things because he was in another personality. He clearly needs medical attention, not to be one of the 50 most important people in the United States government, right? 100 people. What do you say to his mental situation? And also, I'm going to throw this one at you too, because this is a question for Ty. Kanye West clearly is off his meds. Is it some sort of coincidence that they're finding these gentlemen who need mental help to twist and warp into their agenda? What do you think about that, Ty?
Wow. So the first thing about
I know there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, the Herschel Walker stuff. I guess with all that, we could still say allegedly, right? Because we don't know that man. We have never seen him. You know what I mean? All we hear is the stories, and all we're seeing is the negative stories, right?
You go ahead and say allegedly. His son came out and said that stuff against him.
Okay, but it's still close. You know what I mean? It's still a runoff in Georgia.
Right.
Why? If Herschel Walker's this bad, why is it so close? Well, like, what are we not seeing, right? Or what are we seeing in Warnock that's still making them vote for Herschel Walker? You know what I mean? So
it's a numbers game. It's a powers game. Georgia has become the hotbed the past 3 years of national politics, unfortunately. And I hate that since I moved up here, I've registered to vote in DC. However, I'm a registered independent, so I'm not just coming at this as some glass-eyed liberal fellow.
No,
but it is legitimately an embarrassing thing, a construct that this man. I don't know. I feel like I'm running.
No. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But from the Democratic side, like, what are you doing to where you can't provide a representative that can beat Herschel Walker clearly and soundly? You know what I mean? So maybe that's something that we got to take accountability for.
Let me tell you something.
And revamp.
If Jesus Christ ran as a Democrat, it will be 50-50 in Georgia.
Okay.
And all those people who go to his church and his house would still say, I don't know. That heathen got some good points.
Well, it looks like the Republicans know what they're doing then. And you got to kind of give them credit for that. And if they know the landscape, they know what to do, they know how to make it close. Hey, and if Herschel Walker wins, hats off to him.
Well, honestly, they're fucking up because Georgia, and we'll move off of politics here, but we can get into Kanye and Kyrie because we alluded to it earlier and get Nando in here in the conversation. But you're watching the Shawn Show. This is men talking grown-ish. Georgia is, by tradition, a Republican state.
Yeah.
And yet they have given us a Jewish senator and a black senator to fill in a vacated seat. And it's 50-50 that they'll give us another black senator. And Biden won that election. So the Atlanta suburbs are a real thing.
Yeah. Kanye, I just feel like he's been able to see some things that we haven't. And I just feel like the way he articulates what he's seen may not be the way that we would want him to articulate it. But I feel like he's gotten to a point to where he don't know any other way to say what he's been trying to say for years. And nobody's been listening. You know, like, you can be positive about your people. You can say positive things about your people without disparaging other people. But when the positivity is not, is not being accepted, and you still have Lil Durk, Lil everybody still killing people and getting off, Do you know what I mean? And that's still being supported. You know, it's just like, you know, it's just going to be a losing battle. Like, he has some ways about him that I understand, right? Because
he's fascinating. I find Kanye West fascinating.
Because I feel like he tries to find ways to word things that will spark a conversation. It's just sometimes people just aren't intelligent enough to pick up on that.
Oh, I have a theory on that, but I want Nando to get in and get in here because I have a reason. I have thoughts about that. Well, so if that's the case, Nando, are you down with his White Lives Matter shirts?
Not at all. I would never. None of us should. I mean, if a white person wants to do it, that's on them. I mean, I applaud them. But as a black person, we work too hard. Our ancestors work too hard to get to where we are now for you to do that to us. And somebody in the place that you have in that position that you're in, that's Kanye West, for you to wear a White Lives Matter shirt just breaks down people that look up to you. And you're turning us against you. And I feel like what Tyrone is saying, like things he does like clickbait. What can I do to really get people's attention and really have them talk about me, keep my name relevant? And for me, talking about mental health, I was a Kanye West fan from before he even was popular, like before the jaw was broken, you know.
When he was on the streets hustling beats.
Him and John Legend coming out together and, you know, going on from there. And, you know, when his mom passed, you could see him start to change. You know, like the seed started playing when 808 Heartbreaks came out, and when the album came out. And then now, like, you're just, you know, when he did the stuff about when he came out against George Bush years ago, we was for him when he said that. You know, George Bush doesn't care about black people. We were there. We were like, yeah, Kanye, exactly. But now it's to the point where he's just doing anything he can to kind of, you know, push his agenda, push his ideas, or just whatever theories that he has. And like I said, his delivery is just not working.
Nando, you're brilliant because we realize that's 15 years. It's like a 15-year anniversary. Like Katrina was 06, 07, right? So it's about 15 years since George Bush don't like black people. But I totally believe this about ever since his mom died. And now my mom died in August. Although my dad died, and I come from a nuclear family. My mom and dad were together. My dad that was a monumental thing that happened. That happened right after my best friend died 6 months. Well, 6 months before that, and then my dad died, and then my mom's gone. So now you're in this period. I know Ty is having something. He's going through something with his mother. We've talked about that on his show, but she's still with us. God bless that. The bond between a man and his mother is important, to say the least. And Kanye has more stuff on top of it because I think he thinks he killed her. Because he pays for the plastic surgery. He tells her, you do whatever you want, Ma. But I go back to All Falls Down and those lyrics in All Falls Down where he's talking about Babylon and people trying to be impressive as Babylonians. But he says it all falls down, but he succumbed to it to give his mother whatever he wants. This is my dime store. Now, it's dangerous, but Kanye ain't listening to me, so fuck it. It's Shawn's show. But this is my dime store analysis. That's part one. Part two, and I don't want to take up all the time, but part two, here's the thing about Kanye West. And I noticed this when I was hustling on the street, handing out water as a marketing tool for sports bars and all that stuff. You have interactions with people who are actually on the street to get water. They cut the food. I saw one woman defecate herself and smear shit all over, and or harass people or all this other stuff. But there's two things that seem to always straighten out so-called unhinged people. I'm gonna call the police and give me some money. What has changed since Kanye came out about this DEFCON 3 on Jews shit, right? He lost his money. He knows once he lost his money, he's been trying to go to Skechers. He tried to go to Pony and Keds. I think he tried to go to Oshkosh. That dude's been trying to get his money back ever since he lost his money. He talked all that big shit. That's the first thing. The second thing is Kanye likes controversy to promote himself when he's about to come out with something new. Remember, he had the conservative flag shit going on, and he had T.I. supposedly mad at him, right? But that turned out to be a work of us as the audience because T.I. and Kanye already had a rap beef track loaded at the ready. Kanye ain't no fool. He is off his meds though, because that shit that he was talking about, and there's a whole video of a couple of things, but I don't think he's completely far gone. Anyway, anybody want to take that grenade?
No, I mean, that is a lot. I mean, you got a point, man, and I'm happy you even brought up that song. You know, that song's what, almost 20 years old, and he said a lot in that third voice, in that third verse.
Yes,
like he's been trying to tell us for almost 20 years, and we ain't been listening. Just like I've been saying, like everything that he said recently, he's been saying it. You know what I mean?
He's fascinating to me, Ty. I think he's one of the most fascinating people. Whether he's right or wrong, he's maddening, he's deafening. I think he is an actual Gemini. I used to date a Gemini, and as a Sagittarius, that is the most frustrating, enjoyable, thoroughly enriching relationship I've ever been with. And I feel like Kanye West is giving black folks that ride.
But yeah, he's definitely a Gemini.
You got anything on that, Nando? You ain't no Gemini, are you?
No, Aquarius over here, Aquarius.
I'm cool with Aquarius. Yeah, and Ty's Aquarius.
We'll talk about that. But
March of next year will be 10 years that my mom passed away. So for me, that was my best friend. That was my homie. And she asked me to move in with her for like a month before I moved into my new place. So I was like, all right, I'm moving with you for a month. I got you. And then her and my sister were together, living together. And they were beefing. My sister was 17 years old. And my mom passed in between that 1 month of me staying over there. So at that point, I had to take over raising my sister, still, being the man I was and everything else. And I think when those things happen to you, either you're going to break down or you're going to get up. And for me, it's just like I had a moment where I was upset, I was angry, just mad at the world because I missed my best friend. I missed my girl. I miss talking to her every day, so that was a big hit for me. But I think when those things happen to you, they put an energy or a battery in my back that most people don't have, because I've been through enough controversy, enough adversaries, like, just struggles and hard times. I've been through enough of it during my time growing up. And then now as an adult, so at this point, I'm able to flourish. I've been through everything. I know every bad thing that can happen. I've been through enough as it is that I know what to prepare for going forward. So I have an energy and a push and a drive that's more than what's common. And I think, unfortunately, those things happen. So when Kanye West said it, he said his mom was sacrificed. I wouldn't say she was sacrificed, but I think her passing influenced who he became and things that he accomplished. It just changes you in some form or fashion. Whether it's good or bad, it changes you.
It changed him for sure. This has been a powerful first hour. Remember, I started at 8:05, so this will be my first hour. If you're on IG, some of y'all finally got the drift. I'm not turning this computer up anymore. Y'all get on to damn YouTube. I don't know why people get on a visual medium to listen when the shit is on YouTube. Just come to YouTube. jshawndurham is the channel. Hour number 2 is coming up. That's Nando. That's Ty. We're going to take a quick break after this, because 'tis the season, right? It's the holiday season. It's officially the holiday season because I'm Sagittarius. That means I have to acknowledge Christmas. This is what you all will be buying this year. Cheers.
Home Paternity presents The Christmas Story.
Today, baby Jesus, son of a virgin or son of a liar? Find out on
Who's Your Daddy? Welcome back. Now, the birth of a child is a miracle, and no one believes this more deeply than my next guest. Say hello to Mary.
Hi.
Now, Mary, you claim that your husband, Joseph, is not the father of your child.
That's right, I'm a virgin.
We'll see what Joseph has to say about that. Say hello to Joseph! Hello. Now, Joseph, just so we're clear, your wife claims your child is not yours. And you're cool with it?
Yes. I know what it sounds like, but I had a dream in which a very pretty man told me that I'm not the father. It was a very vivid dream.
Yeah, I got a question for Joseph. If you ain't the baby daddy, then why are you trying to be that baby's daddy?
Okay. Now, man, several of your neighbors reported seeing this man enter your home around the time of conception. Now, is he the father?
No, it's not like that.
Go ahead. Tell him who the father is.
It's... God. God is the Father.
Well, we'll see what the big guy has to say about that. God is in the house! Now, unfortunately, we can put to rest this eternal question right after this break.
With the Home Paternity DNA Test Kit, you can get the same DNA testing used on shows like this from the privacy of your own home. Get your kit and the results at homepaternity.com.
It's time to find out
who's your daddy.
Let's get it. Mary, Joseph, God, are you ready for your results? And Joseph, what changes if you are the father?
Wow, that would be really confusing, but a lot would change. The entire course of human history, the true meaning of Christmas. There would probably be a lot less of those fish bumper stickers on people's cars. There's a lot riding on this.
Joseph of Nazareth. You are not the father. God is the father.
Merry Christmas. I'm not the father. Merry Christmas, everyone.
That's it for this episode of
This Christmas, Home Paternity wishes you peace on earth and peace of mind. Get both at homepaternity.com.
Share this video.
So, you know what's funny about that commercial? That's
Home Paternity presents.
That's an actual commercial.
Yeah, homepaternity.com exists.
That's an actual product. So Ty, you already was like, is this some real shit?
It was done really well, actually.
What?
It was produced really well, actually.
Oh yeah.
So that was produced by a company, Humanaut, out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Was it a home paternity commercial?
What's that?
Was it really a home paternity commercial?
It's legitimately a home paternity commercial. They were so good at making it a parody that people didn't think it was a real product. So they were almost too good. So they should have actually done a few more commercial things to it. But every time this time around this year, I play that commercial, and it's one of my
hilarious.
Yeah, they created Shawn, Phil Donahue, Jerry Springer cards, and all that shit. It was great.
Yeah, they got one out with but everyone's got Jamaican accents.
Oh, really?
And it's hilarious. Yeah. Y'all should go and try to find that.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got that one loaded up. We're here. This is the Shawn Show. I'm Shawn. That's Ty up in your I guess your northeast corner as your screen goes left to right. And at the bottom there is Fernando Savage from our sister cast of Radio Love DMV, Radio Love Potomac. It's not officially Radio Love Potomac or what have you, but either way, we treat him like baby brother because he's always part of our crew and shit like that. And we're gonna travel. Y'all miss Hawaii. I got some stories to tell you. I've already shown Ty some pictures, but yeah, y'all miss Hawaii. That's all I'm
Not
saying.
on here. Not on here.
Not on here. We had Walt waiting. Walt just adjusted his camera. Everything was dope. And then we lost him. No, actually, Walt is on the road. Walt is doing Walt shit because Walt's on the move. All right, so I'm about to pull up Walt right now. He's walking and talking. So I'm gonna pull you up, Walt. I know you hear me. Ladies and gentlemen, Walter Maxfield Jones.
Pull me up. I'm just walked in the house. What's up, man?
I'm
Walter
good. How you doing,
Maxfield
brother?
Jones.
Let me find a spot to comp a squat.
All right.
What's good?
Nothing's good. It's just some brothers been doing a lot of talking about some deep shit, but it's been fun. And I think the audience has enjoyed it. I got something for you, though. If you get a chance, turn your phone that way.
That's right.
There it is. Because, you know, Walter does movies, too. Or has done movies. You know, Walt knows his business. He knows what it is. You just coming in from the boxing shit, yo?
Just coming in from the boxing gym, bro.
Can you, before we get you into the conversation and all that, and we still got Marlon Ballard at the bottom of the hour, so he'll fill in when Nando has to leave. We got a comedian coming in, all that shit. But tell us about, because you got these videos out about your boxing techniques and your teaching and coaches and shit. Let's talk about your boxing history real quick while you're on here.
Okay. Let's top it up. Oh, you just want me to talk about my boxing history? Okay, sure.
Real quick.
Okay.
I was going to whiskey real quick.
I actually started boxing late, but when I started boxing, I got obsessed with it. And when the gym that I found was a pro gym, so I didn't really start in an amateur gym. I was maybe one or two amateurs in this gym that had nothing but pros. And, you know, you had guys everywhere from like Darnell Dingeling, Man Wilson, and Jorge Armenta, and a couple other guys that were local fighters that you might have seen on ESPN. But you also would have like Sean Bay Mitchell, Keith Holmes, William Joppy, Chop Corley. They would come in and spar and get some good work in and things of that nature. So I ended up sparring with several world champions when they were getting ready for fights and things of that nature. So, and most of them thought that I was either fighting on their undercard or were pro just because the level of boxing that I got to in such a quick amount of time. Like, I was obsessed with it. Like, don't call me between 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I'm in the gym, you know, waking up every morning, 6 days a week, getting my miles in and going to the gym at night. I just made it a point that I wanted to be the best person in that gym at some point. And that's kind of how I started my boxing career.
How did that develop you as a young man? I know it's very important. I know as a participant of sports myself and club activities, that shit's important to the young man development. But boxing is a solo sport, but it's a disciplined sport and it's pain. How did that develop you?
It's definitely a pain sport. You develop a relationship with pain. Like you don't. I remember Muhammad Ali said, they're like, how many miles do you run? He said, I don't know, because I don't start counting until it starts to hurt. So
we talked about this, by the way. I was in Louisville. We talked about Louisville. That Muhammad Ali Center was fantastic. I need 3 days. There's 5 floors.
Definitely.
That's legit. But go on.
But it's the self-discipline. It's running when you don't want to run, doing all the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. But I think that's what helps develop a man. I was once told a man does what he has to do when he has to do it, whether he likes it or not. That's the definition of a man. And by exercising that mental muscle, like, why are you running this morning? I'm running because I don't want to. You know, why are you going to the gym? I'm going to the gym because I don't want to. And you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you know, and there's also that level of competition when you're running. And I remember, you know, a lot of the guys in the gym came from rougher backgrounds. You know, some of the people were coming out of jail. Some people came from, you know, just a more difficult background than I came from. And so I definitely had a chip on my shoulder because they had one on their shoulder. It was like, there's no way I'm gonna let this dude beat me. And so when I was training, sometimes I'd be running and I'm imagining this imaginary opponent. He's trying to outwork me. So I'd run harder. I'm like, there's no way this guy is going to run harder than me. I'm running this imaginary person in my head. I got to run harder than him. I got to train harder than that person. And it gives you that discipline. But a lot of it was also, you know, it helped me get through when my wife passed away. It helped me get through that as well. I was able to let out my frustrations on the bags. It was the same mental muscle that you need to say, I'm going to run one more mile, is the same mental muscle that you need to say, I'm going to get out of bed and go to work. I'm not going to lay here and be depressed. It's a mental, that self coaching that you develop, the voice in your head. You learn how to control the voice in your head through that type of discipline.
Well, let's get into that germ. I know you've talked about it a lot as a Ready to Love castmate, as we all are Ready to Love cats, but I feel we're friends. How old were you when your wife passed away? And
I was
how old were you?
27.
How long were you with her before?
28. I was 28.
So it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, about 20 years ago.
About 20 years ago. Yep. How would you say, what has happened? This is not the grief show, but what has happened to you since then?
What has happened to me since then?
Yeah. Not
give you 20 years.
20 years of history. Like your mental state and all that shit.
Oh man, I mean, I started living life with a sense of urgency. You know, I've been on tour doing comedy. I've done films. I've done plays. I've done off Broadway. Whatever I felt like my dream was, I went after it because I realized that tomorrow is not promised. So like I said, I would say I lived life with a sense of urgency, is what I got from that. And I've been pretty much doing that since.
Did you ever drop boxing, or did boxing help you after that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, after a while you get cracked a couple times, you know, and even though I've never been dropped, I definitely felt concussed. Even, you know, you could win a fight and still have a concussion at the end of it, right? And so, you know, I remember one day I made the decision between, I got a movie role and I had a fight coming up, and I had to make the decision between movies and fighting. And there's no way you can do both. If you're boxing, you can't play boxing. It's not like a hobby, you know? So I was like, I can't have my mind on two different things. So I need to make a decision. And I chose film. But I'm pretty sure if I'd have stayed in boxing, I'd have been on pay-per-view somewhere. I'd at least got a world title fight if I'd have stayed in boxing.
All right, and quickly,
but I ended up, you know, having movies distributed worldwide, so I'm not mad. Look me up on Amazon Prime.
What's the name of the movie? What's the name of the movie?
Torn is on Amazon Prime, and Dead Money is on Tubi, and I believe Painted Smiles might be on Amazon Prime as well.
And I'm not gonna lie. So, all right, I check out everybody. You know, like, oh, this motherfucker's done movies and shit too. Walt is actually a good actor. All right. Walt is actually a good actor. So I know some motherfuckers say, "Yo, well, I act now when I model," and like, well, I don't know if he can model because you know that ain't for him.
I used to model.
Yeah, I know you used to. Like, we ain't talking about what you used to. Shit, I used to do some shit too. I ain't gonna get into that. But no, Walt can actually act. So even if the acting around him is suspect, Walter Maxfield Jones can act. So I'm just going to say that you got stay present, brother. And I appreciate that. We're going to catch you up on the topics that we have been talking, and then we're going to move rapid fire into some other stuff. Nando's going to leave in about 10 minutes. This is the Shawn Show. This is grown man-ish. We're talking that shit. Before we get into that, the plug. Give us a plug. Where can people find you if they want to get training or whatever? Do they hit you up on your DMs? Do they find you?
Yeah, DM me on Instagram, on IG. What Walt Can Do. Everything's What Walt Can Do. My website, my YouTube. Everything's What Walt Can Do. So just find me on What Walt Can Do.
Has boxing business picked up? Seem like you're busy because you came from a boxing gig, right?
Yeah, you know, actually in the past few months, I've started to focus more on boxing. And so business has picked up. I don't think it's just because I've made more of a concentrated effort to build my boxing business. I'm doing corporate wellness. I'm volunteering at DC DYRS, Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services. I'm picking up some, some celebrity clients as well. So, I'm building the business. I prefer to, boxing is my passion. And if I can make a living doing something that I'm passionate about, then that's what I want to do.
And that's the story of life. If you find something that you love doing and make money for it, then you're not working, you're living.
Exactly.
All right. So we have been talking a couple of things. We opened with my friend, Dr. Ira Davis. He gave us the issue with the controversy surrounding the woman king. Right. So this is a lightning round. We're going to catch you up to speed with what we've been discussing, and then we'll advance the ball. The woman king.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fictitious movie.
Yeah.
About real people.
Mm-hmm.
And he was even mad about the title Woman King. like this is extra bullshit. This woman king, women ain't women. That's my boy. I love him. Do you have thoughts on that, as well as, because it seems like it's related, Black Panther, The New Wakanda Forever? Have you seen that one yet?
I've seen Woman King. I've seen Woman King. I've seen The New Wakanda Forever. I believe The Woman King was produced by white women, if I'm not mistaken.
White lesbian women, and Viola Davis tagged as an executive producer.
Being in the business, I'm happy that Black actors are getting work.
That's true.
To have a Viola Davis be a lead character in a powerful movie, I'm happy for the work. I'm happy for the portrayal of Black powerful women and Black people in powerful positions and fighting back and the whole thing, regardless of whether or not the story is true.
I mean, it's literally the opposite of the story possible, because these were the women who caught the potential slaves.
Yeah,
and gave them to the white people,
and they were integral in catching slaves.
They were pivotal to the Atlantic trade slave.
However, I just came back from Ghana, and if you haven't been to the motherland, I don't care if it's Nigeria, if you haven't touched the continent at some point as an African American or as a Black person in America, you need to touch the continent at some point. And the story that I get when I'm there is completely different. The story that I get from there was the whole divide and conquer. There wasn't these different countries in Africa the way that we know it today. Portugal, England, Spain, whoever, they set up these boundaries and said, this is ours, this is ours, this is ours. And then they told the Black people in this place, oh, you're better than them, and you're better than them. Or why are you letting them trade with us when you own the coastline? Why? And so all these things were happening that they divided us. Plus, slavery as Africans knew it was not the slavery that they thought they were selling their people into. Their slavery, as far as African was concerned, was more of like an indentured servant. I owe you some money. I'm going to make my son work for you for the next 2-3 years to pay off my debt. And he can marry your daughter, he can marry, you know what I mean? Or if he doesn't end up integrating into your tribe or to your country, send him back.
Now that's the tradition of America, because there were white indentured servants, there was Irish indentured servants.
Yeah, but they couldn't handle the work.
Blacks were really good at being servants.
The problem is they couldn't handle the work. You know what I mean? They couldn't handle the work.
It's a new world, bro.
It's not about the world, it's about the heat. It's about the athleticism, the strength.
All right. Well, I got to get pithy answers from you. So
go ahead. Let's run the next one.
Do you have an issue with Black Panther having no? Because this is mine. Do you have any issue with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, having no Black American men in it? With the exception of a cameo. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it. But it's
were they all from the UK?
They were all from somewhere else. No Black American men. There was Angela Bassett and Dominique Thorne,
but I know some brothers from the UK. Most of the brothers from the UK have some, we're all from African descent. So whether or not there's American Blacks or UK Blacks, one thing I can say about the brothers from the UK that I know, they know where they're from They could be like, I'm from Somalia, I'm from Ghana, I'm from Nigeria. The brothers from America, we can't pinpoint a country.
But that's my thing, though, Walter. That's the insouciance that Sam. I love that word, insouciance.
The insouciance.
That's insouciance. That's what Sam Jackson says about the Black American actor and the Black American experience.
Uh-huh.
We don't know, and we are these people. So
that's why you see so many. But because we don't know, that's why you see so many Black people in America so hyped about this world that doesn't even exist because we want to tie ourselves to something African. We want to find something that we can say, this is the real us so bad. We have families dressing in all white, going to the movie theater just to take a picture in front of a step and repeat.
I got to get the other fellas in here.
TikTok videos, stepping out the car.
Well, you 100% correct. I said, this is a fictitious country created by a white Jewish man in America for a conglomerate that's Disney. You know, like what are we talking about as far as like identity in this thing? But it was a Black experience. It's $200 million spent on us. That's why we love it. We're here. That's Walter Maxfield Jones. I've given him a solo for some reason because he drops in late. Nando's here hanging. He's got 5 minutes left. Ty is waiting in the wings. All right. Y'all fellas, say something real quick because Marlon Comedy is coming up. Marlon, I'm going to give you an ID of 9:35. Is that okay? We're 5 minutes off. I see you in the green room. He gave me the thumbs up. 9:35, we're going to bring in Marlon Ballard. And he's a funny cat. And he's a friend of the show. Drop a grenade. We also talked about Herschel Walker.
Oh my God!
Wes Mother's issues. I played a fantastic commercial. So yeah.
Herschel.
I hate it.
You ever see Mush Mouth from the Cosby Kids?
No, I put out. It was actually Dumb Dumb on I put out there, but Mush Mouth is the one that has the red. And y'all check me. Mush Mouth is the one that has the red ski hat. Dumb Donald is the one that has the shit over his eyes.
Yes. Well, I don't know.
By the way, he said babe, everybody. So by babe, he means somebody else. Hey, that's your cast, ain't it, Nando?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who my girl is. Stop playing.
Okay.
All right, we good. There you go. My phone was about to die, so I had to plug it in. All right, cool. I'm back.
So he was driving.
But no, so Herschel Walker is just, I mean, he doesn't make any sense. He's speaking gibberish, and they was like, as long as he's Black, they think Black people will vote for him. So they picked him, and hopefully they'll split the vote, and maybe some people be idiotic enough to vote for him. And I mean, it's Herschel Walker. He just said anything. So I was like watching a lizard hump an elephant leg.
We played a literal Raphael Warnock commercial.
I saw it.
And those people are like, is this motherfucker? And that chick in the end, they had to bleep her out. She said, let's just get out of open. The nigga's terrible. The nigga's trash. She said nigga. They had to bleep it out.
Yeah.
You know, because white people who are professional don't want to come close to that.
I feel like it's an insult to Black people that they picked Herschel Walker. That's how little they think of us.
Yeah, I feel like that was the point. You know, that's the point.
It's almost mockingly so, right?
It's almost like, have you seen that movie Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Like, well, you brought up another one. That's Mike Judge.
Idiocracy.
Jennifer Schmucks.
And they had Terry Crews. I think Terry Crews became president in Idiocracy. That's Herschel Walker.
With Luke Wilson, not Owen.
Yeah,
Luke Wilson.
Yeah. America becomes so stupid that anybody can get away with anything. So,
all right, Nando, can you stick around till 9:35? I got to show something real quick, and I want y'all to comment on it if I get it up, because, you know, I'm not good at this whole thing. This is Young Jock checking his wife.
What you're not going to do is do that.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's how you put it. You said you wouldn't want my son to be like me.
I wouldn't want them to do some of the things that you have done.
Oh, and I wouldn't want my daughters to do some of the things you've done. We're human. That's what I'm trying to say.
You would want them to do majority of the things that I've done.
Listen, what I'm saying is, when you talk about me, don't sum me up. Facts, right? Don't sum me up on the worst side of me or what you consider the worst side of me. Because ain't nobody fucking perfect. So don't do that. That's what we're not going to do. Because as a man, guess what? I got to stand on mine too. Because guess what? Let me tell you something. I didn't go to college. Guess what? Fine. I want my kids to go to college. So we can say that right now. I don't want them to go that direction. I want them to go to college. I can say that with you too. Right. But don't sit here in front of the world, in front of a medium and say, oh, I wouldn't want my son or your sons to be like you. Hold on. No, we got to you're going to put some respect on my name. Because at the end of the day, I'm successful. I take care of my kids. Ain't none of my kids out here in dire need of love and support. So we ain't going to do that. Okay? Because I don't appreciate that. Because there's some things about you that I could say I wouldn't want my daughters to do.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to do that. I respect you and I love you enough.
I want this magazine to know
what it is about
integrity. Me. You don't want your daughters
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Be my guest. I'm not going to be slighted, honey.
I'm not going to do that. That's where we have to draw the line.
Okay.
Because I don't care because the camera in front of me or somebody's asking me questions. I'm not going to reveal my everything that go on with me. Just like right now, you ain't going to sit here in front of these people and tell what your credit score is. You ain't going to sit here and tell them your social security number. You ain't going to sit here and tell them what's in your bank account either.
I won't.
Okay, so some things are better left fucking unsaid and in the private, and that's what I'm going to do. So when you addressing me, don't ever make it seem like I'm the worst of the worst, because I'm not.
Okay.
Because I came through and changed your life, and it wasn't about me having no money. It was about the integrity. It was about my integrity. It was about me standing up for you. It was about me helping you open your eyes to see things that no other man has gotten you to do. So when you talk about me and address me, please be mindful of that, because I love you for who you are, good and bad.
You know I love you for who you are.
But I would never say to the world that I wouldn't want my.
I'm just gonna let the floor go open and let y'all say whatever you want to say about what transpired, and then I'll have a summation because I have an idea. Who wants to go first and deal with that grenade? Walter is frozen, but I saw Walter react like this when something was said, and he was like, what? So who wants to go? Nando, you got to go soon, so you want to get in here?
Sure. That was a lot. I'm surprised by Jock. He was telling the truth though. Like, you can't. We're a unit. We're one. So if you you're telling the world that you don't want our children to be like me, then why are you with me in the first place? It's making me seem like I'm not worthy of you, and I'm not a good parent. And if one thing I know for myself, I'm a great parent, and I would hate for my mother, my child, to talk about me in front of anybody else, especially the world, like that. So I'm not sure what made her say that or what about him.
Now, do you think because, all right, apparently I don't watch the shows, but it was Love and Hip Hop or something, and some infidelity was exposed on Jock's part or whatever. But she's sitting right there, and they're having a conversation as a family unit about something else. Does that change the way you think about it? And then Ty, jump in, please.
I mean, I agree with Jock. Something was said at home. If you feel the way about me, please vent. Please let me know how you feel. Let me change, what the things I'm doing wrong that affects you. But for you to say that to the world, that you don't want my children to be like me, I mean, that's hurtful. Because, you as a parent, we put a lot of time, effort, and love into our children. And we know we want the best for our children. And I hope to be a role model for my child. So if you say I'm not a role model to my child, that's hurtful. And like I said earlier, it makes, like I said, we're a unit, we're one. And you're making me look bad. You're tearing me down, and kind of like your folks said earlier today about tearing the black man down. It's just you shouldn't do that, especially not in public.
Ty, what you got?
Jeez, for me, it was the constant interruption. For me, you know what I mean?
Me too.
I have one rule about anyone that knows me. Anybody that asks, that's talking to my daughter about me. Like, my only rule is to tell her the truth, right? Like, he can't expect to walk the earth thinking that he's the perfect dad, because he may not be. She did try to clear it up and say, she said it's some of the things that you have done. Not all of the things, but it was the constant interruption that was like really, really irking me. It was hard for me to get through it. But, when a man is talking about how he is being perceived by his children, you can tell that it was very, very important to him. You know what I mean? And the fact that she wasn't letting him get his point out, you know, kind of says a lot about, you know, how their relationship is.
It feels like she was trying to save herself for the cameras.
But
like,
she could have just done that. She could have just done that and said, you know what? I'm sorry about that. And it would have been done.
No, she didn't want to do that.
She couldn't.
She couldn't. It's like, all right, so we were all on reality shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who act out because there's a little bit of celebrity and they think that the cameras are going to be in the nitty gritty of their relationship, right? And some more than others. Maybe the camera will be right there in the nitty gritty of the relationship. But my point is this: there are people out there right now who are performing when they get into arguments or where they overstep or where they do too much. And they act like there's a camera in front of them. And they're fucking up. And it's like, this chick stepped out. She admitted, basically, I'm with you because of your bank account. I wouldn't like my son to have the quality. First of all, he's 100% correct by saying whatever we got going on, if we gonna be a unit, we got to keep this shit in-house. As opposed to this woman right here. And by the way, I don't know where Walt went. I think Walt is having a connection issue. But that's Nia Long. Now, Ty, this is your account because you're a Boston Celtics fan, right?
Yeah.
Ume Udoka, right? He fucked up, right? Mm-hmm. But Nia Long said, I will handle it. Thank you all for your support. Thank you, sisters. And that was the end of her. And she was quiet. And then the next post we see from her is a new apartment. So she's like, all right, so if y'all were wondering, I'm not with this nigga no more. Mm-hmm. I'm gone. But that's it. I'm not going to say any other shit. Don't they share children?
Yeah, like she don't have to. You know what I mean? They may have kids. He may have family. You know what I mean? Plus it makes her look a little bit bad as well. And there's really not much to say. He cheated, I left. Boom.
Yeah. And it's a very mature way to just, instead of getting ugly and rolling up sleeves or people wanting to like, I got to say this because people expect me to come back. That's that reality TV thought process about bullshit. What say you, Fernando? And then I know you got to go. And then I'm going to pull up. What do you think, Nando?
Always been a private person. You know, not until doing this reality TV show. My account was always private. So for me, I've never been one to kind of tell people about my situation, what's going on with me. And I've never want to publicize bad information or negativity in my life. So I Nia Long, she posted the new place. I respect her. You know, she's letting the world know that she's moved on. I applaud her. But, I wouldn't have done it because you just don't want to draw that attention to it. I'd rather leave it be and leave it dead and have people guessing what's really going on than actually telling them about it. Because then they want to know more questions. Where'd you move to? How long y'all been broken up? Things of that nature. And it's continue being something. But if you just kind of let it die, then you kind of move on and respectfully, go your separate ways.
That was Fernando Savage, by the way. And I'm gonna pull out this. Let me get this out of here so I can get him up full screen. Hang on a second. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Do that. All right. So Nando's about to break out of here. When we last saw Nando here on Shawn Show, it's now called Shawn Show. It's not the Shawn Show. There's too many articles and shit. But when Nando was last here, he's a comedic apparatus, but he has not been on stage to do the comedy thing. Are you about to do the comedy thing?
I will not be doing comedy.
You will not be doing comedy.
No,
you are a funny cat, though. You're a funny cat.
I'm naturally funny. But that's not I'm more focused on my business right now and in my career. I'll take opportunities and acting and gigs of that nature, but actual comedy itself, no, I can't be a joke. You see how life is right now, how you're looking at it, how you're treating us as a black man. I don't want to be a joke right now. I'd rather be somebody that people can look up to or learn from or gain knowledge from, gain information from, not just a point and laugh at.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's how a dignified, dark-skinned man talks about things, because here's a light-skinned motherfucker about to eating on my damn podcast.
First of all,
light-skinned motherfucker eating shit in my green room.
I did comedy for years, Comedy is one of the most purest forms of entertainment. And if you look at like a Dave Chappelle, he's hilarious and genius at the same time. He's informative and giving you a perspective. Comedy is how Black people were able to talk about politics without being persecuted. That's how Dick Gregory started.
They made it funny without it seeming dangerous, right?
Because he was able to do comedy in a way that brought awareness and also made white people laugh at themselves, even though he was telling them that they were evil, or they were being evil in their actions, I should say.
Oh, so that's an interesting point, because I saw this because I was flipping channels. I just put up a new screen, and you know when you got the antenna going, they give you all sorts of like offshoot channels, and there's a whole Chappelle Show Comedy Central channel, and they had Paul Mooney, Ask a Black Man, and I remember Paul Mooney's son talking to me after he died. So that's a whole nother conversation. But why do you think Paul Mooney didn't have that type of love? Was he too truthful? Because Chris Rock tells the truth. Chappelle tells the truth. But Paul Mooney, there's some acerbity there, right?
Yeah, Paul Mooney doesn't laugh after he tells his joke.
Laugh after he tells.
He's like, I'm serious.
Like, no,
y'all can laugh if y'all want to.
He said,
Paul Mooney, like, this is not even a joke.
Right.
But you have to. Paul Mooney wrote for so many people, right? So Paul Mooney wrote for Richard Pryor, and he wrote the Richard Pryor show.
And Dave Chappelle. Have you seen all 6 of them?
Yeah,
they're available on Netflix, guys. Watch it. It's not a comedy show. It's a variety show. There's singing, there's dancing, there's actually dramatic bits. And that's because NBC was like, this is not the nigga we thought we were getting. And Richard Pryor showed the entire bag of what he can do. Good Sagittarius man, by the way.
and because of that, people in comedy, they gave Paul Mooney all the love and respect, but he didn't really get it publicly. And it could have been for several reasons. It could have been because he was controversial or because he was so Black, right? I hate to say it could have been because of his sexuality and other things that people didn't really discuss back then.
He has a son, but it's like, it's not the same. That's the look. Hey,
so there could be a lot of reasons.
I'm gonna put you on full screen. Give me that look again, Walt. Because let's see, 3, 2, 1. Give me that look about Paul Mooney. Yep, that's it.
That's the look. So we know what that look means. And so there could have been a lot of reasons why. I mean, Bernie Mac didn't get his flowers until he was almost gone. So there's the powers that be, you don't know who he may have pissed off, or maybe he didn't want to sell his soul, whatever the reason.
He was also fighting Steve Harvey. There was a huge Steve Harvey Bernie Mac falling out. Steve Harvey was like, well, I got the show, and therefore you need to give me Ocean's 11. And like George Clooney's like, no, but he's actually good, Steve. I don't want to use you.
Yeah. There's a reason why on the Kings of Comedy, Bernie Mac went last.
That's your
nobody want to follow. Nobody want to follow Bernie Mac, man.
Nando, you got to get out of here.
I do, and I will say,
do the comedy, Nando.
I can't. You know why? I'll be canceled. I'll be canceled in 2 weeks. It'll take no time. Like the way they do Kevin Hart, the way they do old stuff. Oh yeah, quick. Come on, you go see the real Savage. Like when I joke, I can.
He's all nice and cordial, and he waits his turn here, Mac. Walt. He's like. I know you. I know who you are.
We gotta get Nando, and we gotta go to like an underground open mic comedy spot, and just let him do 5-10 minutes and see what happens.
Bruh, I got a couple of them. I already know a couple.
I know all the spots.
And I know you know them. I know you know them. You know them more than I do. But I got a couple of them.
Let's do it. I get my jokes ready. I get my jokes ready.
If you get on stage and perform, I'll get on stage and perform.
I've done Buff Boys and Poets before. I've done poetry at Buff Boys and Poets. So I don't mind being on stage. It don't bother me.
Okay, so but poetry and comedy, two different things.
I believe it.
However, the Buff Boys and Poets crowd
I have a card. I'm like,
You forget, I ran the longest running weekly open mic poetry venue in the country. Warm Wednesday. So I understand Bus Boys and Poets and Poetry. Whoever's hosting Bus Boys and Poets probably started doing poetry at my venue.
This is why I like Walt, because everything Walt has done, I've done as well. And some of his shit is more superior than mine, and some of my shit is more superior than what you've done. Me and my boy from Power, UGA boys, we've done the spoken word shit too. So we should just do some ready to love tit for tat.
Yeah, I want Nando to, I want to hear the spoken word and the comedy. I want him to do both.
We just call it open mic.
I can do a lot. I can do a lot.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it, man.
The show is not deteriorated. This is clearly on the chat later.
My bad.
Sucker's got to leave. All right, Sucker, you got to leave.
Y'all be safe.
Nando.
Appreciate y'all, all right?
Nando, next trip, because your ass be traveling. Next trip. Bro, we rolling.
Holla at me. January. I'm out there.
January? Actually, I'm working January. Motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. I can't do
March,
January.
April, May. You're not traveling all the time. Just let me know.
Come to my snowboarding trip. Come to my skiing party weekend in March. Let's go.
Let's get it. Oh, I'm there.
I'm slinging spices, but yeah, Walt is also doing the snowboarding trip.
Blackout weekend.
30 more minutes on the show. 30 more minutes of the show. This is the Shawn Show. Nando's about to tune out. We're about to bring in Marlon Ballard for a second because he's a professional comedian. But I also wanted to ask y'all this real quick because I got it. I loaded it up. I took the time to actually figure out how to do it. Maybe I didn't. So here it is, and there it is. Right? Oh damn it! It's supposed to pop up. Hang on, hang tight. You know this is Negro rigged.
Hey man, I've been loving all the commercials and clips that you've been adding to the show. Like I am digging the production value, bro.
Thank you so much.
I am really adds, honestly.
Yo, he the only one that be giving me a timesheet to the exact minute.
People ask for Tyrone, by the way, and Tyrone's like, "Well, I just got to block off my entire Pacific time schedule." Like Tyrone be giving them the whole block of the whole prime time block in Alaska. What I was gonna show you guys, and I'll at least show you the banner because I think I do have that up. When it comes to what happened recently, whose ego is more bruised by August Alsina's coming out as gay? Will or Jada? Marlon, you up? You hear me?
What if they all knew?
I'm bringing in Marlon too because the last time Marlon was on here, he said we've watched an emasculation on TV. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Marlon Ballard. Marlon, goddammit, you do TV. Why don't you flip that damn camera that way?
Oh, my bad. Shit. Hold up. My bad.
Yeah, we ain't doing Instagram. We big time, baby. Marlon Ballard, he's in Atlanta. It's Atlanta-ish because Atlanta is not necessarily Atlanta proper. It's just if you touch anything that Atlanta touches. So where you at? You like North Atlanta, right? North of Atlanta.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. But you've been traveling. You were just here in DC. I missed you like 2 weeks ago.
I know you last somewhere drunk.
I was drunk as shit. I think I told you that.
You did. You definitely did.
Marlon Ballard, he's got a couple of tour dates. We can get into that, but I want you to get into whose ego is more bruised by August Alsina's coming out last week.
Shit, hands down, Will. It's Will.
It's Will.
Like this man came out with a boyfriend. Like, so you not only did you let him bang your wife, but he also out here banging light-skinned dudes that look like him.
With rose-colored glasses, literally. Like that nigga got rose-colored glasses. Like
that right there is proof that if Tory Lanez beat you up, he would turn you gay.
Wow.
Did Tory Lanez beat August Alsina?
He beat him up at a show not too long ago. It was that
Tory Lanez is like 5'3".
Hey, it's the tour that Brandon T. Jackson was just on. That's my man's. It was Neo, Trey Songz, August Alsina. Everybody that pretty much had a case the past year was on the show.
That's a short ass tour, by the way, because Trey Songz is the green giant of that motherfucker. Because all the motherfuckers are like, how tall are you, Marlon?
I'm 5'9".
Y'all motherfuckers are hilarious at 5'9" and less.
we that height that women, you know, they say they won't mess with, but they still would, but they won't tell nobody. So I'll take it. I'll take whatever gain I can
Y'all
get.
are white girl height.
Fucking idiot. You idiot, man.
We catch a case.
What's that you'll mess with, but you won't tell nobody?
Yeah.
This is Marlon Ballard. Marlon also has, if I'm correct, Marlon, and we can get into this later, you have a relationship with like a couple of R&B groups, legendary R&B groups.
Yeah.
And I remember we had an alt about the 90s male R&B group bracket that I put together a couple of months ago. So we can revisit that, but I want to talk about the women. But you know Shy, right? The Shy, the Cats. Are you pretty close with them?
Yes.
What other songs do they have other than "Baby I'm Yours" and
"If I Ever Fall in Love"?
If I Ever Fall in Love.
They have "Comforter."
Yeah.
And they have "This Is the Place We Belong." That was on the Beverly Hills 3 soundtrack with Eddie Murphy.
Wait a minute. Beverly Hills 3?
Yes. Beverly Hills got 3. There's 3 of them.
I feel like this is Enter the Dragon.
I actually performed Together Forever at a talent show.
Together Forever is another hidden gem by them.
Yeah. Acapella.
See, my man. That's my man. Together Forever is probably one of their best songs. That's their wedding song.
Marlon, he didn't say he won. He just
hey, anybody that can get there and perform that song, like they know it. He look like he know that song.
Yeah.
That's the song. I remember that song.
My part was the deep voice at the end. Because you know that's what they did in all the R&B songs. There's a deep. Somebody got the deep voice.
It was that one dude from Boyz II Men, Mike from Boyz II Men. He came out of nowhere.
He's the one who left. He never had singing parts, and he left. Who's giving him singing parts now?
Man, he at home chilling, bro. He ain't even.
No, I think something happened to his vocal cords or something.
He got MS.
Something happened.
Maybe he has MS.
Yeah.
You know, so all right, so this is a good segue because didn't one of the brothers like High Five, right?
Multiple sclerosis.
Someone died with High Five, and then another one got sick, right?
I mean, High Five is a tragic story altogether.
Yeah, the lead singer of High Five died.
Tony.
And then Brownstone, Charmaine Maxwell, she slipped and fell.
Freak accident.
And she had the stem of a wine glass get into her neck.
Yeah.
And her husband found her. Her husband, who was he a member of Portrait?
I don't know.
Who was that Faith Evans' husband?
I forgot about Portrait. That was a whole group.
Yeah, it doesn't see. Honey,
you're bringing it back.
Here we go.
Portrait. Man, but Michael Jackson discovered Brownstone.
That's right.
Yeah.
MJJ Records. They were.
He discovered Brownstone and Men of Vision.
Mm-hmm.
They were both the only acts signed to MJJ Records at the time.
Wait a minute,
not 3T.
3T was 3T was on MJJ also.
He only did that because Jermaine was like he had some shit in the will on him or something. Like, he didn't want to do it. I don't think that good, Jermaine, but you got this shit floating over my head.
I mean, Mike didn't mess with Jermaine for the simple fact Jermaine's head looked like a divorce cake.
Wow.
What did Chris Rock say? Is that the greasiest nigga you ever seen?
Somebody throw some sand on this nigga.
All right, so just we got Marlon's answer, so I can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Will's ego is more bruised than Jada's over August being gay?
I mean, look how the world, reacted to him doing that. Jada didn't take no L with that. She ain't lose no work. She ain't get kicked
never
out of
had
that
any
studio.
work though. What work has Jada gotten?
Jada
What, you
got
watch Hawthorne 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Jada got a resume. She got a resume. She got a resume. She got her own resume.
She ain't got no resume, man.
Jada, not like you compare her to Will.
I like that one. I like that one.
You compare her to Will, with her resume to Will.
Her resume is because of Will.
You know what? Jada Pinkett is Black Jennifer Aniston.
Oh no!
And actually, Jennifer Aniston done more stuff.
Gabrielle Union is Black Jennifer Aniston.
God damn. So Jada
Pinkett is
the Gabrielle Unions of Jennifer Aniston's.
No, Jada Pinkett. I don't even know who to compare Jada Pinkett to. I can't even tell you who to compare her to in like that movie type setting. But she's not in Jennifer Aniston's category when it comes to celebrity and movies. I put Gabrielle Union and Jennifer Aniston. I really don't think that Jada or Will's ego is more bruised now that August Alsina has came out as gay. First of all, August Alsina was a friend of Jaden who brought him into the house saying, this is my friend and he needs help. Jaden was already came out and said he's fluid. Will has always been considered somewhat rumors of sus.
There's rumors, yes.
Jada, we know Jada's fluid, right? So all of that, the question then becomes like, well, maybe Will did know. Maybe that's all those other things start swirling around and those possibilities. But whatever agreement Will and Jada have, at some point, I used to like bash Jada for emasculating Will and Will going through all this type of stuff. But now I'm just like, you know what? I gotta tell Will, on the Will side, like, he's a man. He got to be responsible for the decisions. He's decided to stay. He's decided to work it out. Yeah. He's decided to look past it. He's decided to forgive her. Whatever bruises, that's on him at this point. He's a man, and he's decided that's the lifestyle he chooses, man. So I'm putting all the responsibility on Will. I'm not even bashing Jada no more for that joint.
Ty, what you think on this, and then Marlon jump on in here. Ty, what you think?
I feel like whatever he was gonna have and handle, it happened whether that man was gay or not. You know what I mean? Your wife got smashed out by another man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Therefore, it is what it is at that point. Maybe, Will did see all that and didn't see August as a threat. You know what I mean? Maybe he noticed.
Well, he was a teenager and his son's
early.
friend.
Yeah. Maybe he was like, well, he don't like women,
I didn't even think about it that way.
Right.
Maybe Will was like, I'm not worried about this boy.
Come through every day, all day. Right?
I ain't worried about this boy.
Right. So, I mean, whatever he was going to take, all the harshness, he going to get it, whether he was gay or not. You know what I mean?
And maybe that's what Jada likes, because I believe she was on Oprah when she said, Will makes love like a woman.
What does she mean by that? Did you?
I don't know what she meant by that.
Exactly what she said.
I just know she said it. I just know she said it.
All right. Well, I'll say it. It's Shawn's show, so she fucks like a bitch. You fuck like a bitch. Yeah, you fucking like he's riding cowboy or some shit like that.
Hey, I'm not even gonna go that far. I might want to do a movie with Will someday.
Let me tell you something.
Right.
None of us are doing a movie with Will because I'm tired of doing slave shit.
Right.
Will just doing shit.
I'll tell you what. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
Marlon, what you got?
Not my Fresh Prince. Not my Fresh Prince. Not at all. Nope. Nope.
Nope. He said, "I refuse to believe."
Nope.
I refuse to believe. So do you feel like Will? Do you feel like Will knew?
To an extent. To an extent. You ever? I mean, we've all dated a girl, and she told us about a dude we ain't had nothing to worry about. We ain't got to worry about him. He's 15. Why would I mess with him? And then you turn around and find out he fucking anyway.
Yeah,
It's
always the guy she tell you don't worry about.
Yeah, you ain't gotta worry about him. He's gay, and then turn out he piping your wife down, and you like,
yeah,
kill this nigga, but I can't beat him up because I'm damn near 50 and he's 17. Like, with me, I'm punching down at this point. I'm Will Smith, and that's August Alsina. I'm gonna let him get me out of character. But you know, it makes you think, like maybe the dude who killed Tupac has been in front of us the entire time.
Are you saying Will Smith killed Tupac?
Are you saying that?
Wait! You can't do that. You can't Bugs Bunny me into this shit. You say Will Smith killed Tupac? Are
you saying what Will? Are you saying Will killed him?
Why haven't we thought of this before? That nigga went up.
He's protected. He's protected by the white Hollywood community. He's protected. Nobody's gonna. It's Will. It's Will Smith.
Will killed him.
It had to be. I would have killed Tupac if I was Will.
By the way, guys,
I am not commenting.
No, y'all are the opposite. Y'all are wrong. Right. If that motherfucker sues us for putting out that he killed, that means I actually make money off.
Tupac gonna show up at your house and be like, "Bruh, shut the fuck up."
Tupac is alive and well. Tupac probably work at the deli down the street from me.
But you noticed after Tupac died, Will really blew up. He really blew. He blew.
I think going to Miami was a top hit. Going to Miami.
The nigga that was in his way was no longer in his way, and he fucking thrived.
Yo, we here with the fellas. It's that's Tyrone in your northeast corner. That's Walt in your southeast corner. That's Marlon, fucking Oliver Stone in this motherfucker.
Marlon has blown my mind, bro.
Marlon has come up with the theory that no one is even. You know what? He's fucking Kaiser Soze. He's Kaiser Soze. That motherfucker is right in front of us. And we didn't even know.
Wow. It's the person you least expect. Like, Will wouldn't do that. Will wouldn't do that. And then you like, maybe he did.
That means we need to put August in protective custody right now then.
I mean, but you see, August came out at the right time.
August had to turn into a gay man, so we can protect him.
Right. He's protected now. August is now protected.
Yeah, he's
protected now.
August is in the open. Olympus is free. Olympus is open.
It's like Lil Nas X. Like, oh, Bootsy is a problem to me. All right, I'm gonna be gay. You can't touch him now. Have you ever seen Lil Nas X kiss a dude? Have you ever seen it? He ain't gay for real. He got the protection.
By the way, I want everyone to know Marlon is Atlanta based, so he got the inside shit.
hey, I don't got the inside scoop.
No, you got the straight dope. You got the dope.
Go down there.
You got the dope.
Yeah.
I don't go down there. People talk. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, you ain't at that IHOP on International Avenue.
I thought I was the king of conspiracy theories. I am bowing down because I'm a conspiracy theorist, but now I am.
All right, so Walt, thank you for saying that because you're a great segue. I'm running overtime. If you guys don't mind humoring me for a few more minutes, because this is a good
I'm down.
Marlon's down. Walt just got his internet connection.
I might be able to stay.
Could have used some Dick Gregory right now because he would have had the answer.
Walt just paid Comcast and Ty is here, so
I am notorious for my phone dying.
Motherfucker, that shit died 5 times already.
Exactly.
But and Ty is here. Since you said that about conspiracy theories, etc., so forth, and I remember being at the conversation. I won't go into the details of the conversation. You were talking with Mookie, and we were all together at our end of it was basically the Rain of Love class reunion or whatever that we had a month and a half ago. But talking about the vaccine, I don't want to get into whether you're pro or con. However, a story popped up where Ice Cube confirmed he was offered $9 million to star in a movie, but he turned it down because they said, we want everybody to be vaccinated on set.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube said, "Fuck you and fuck that vaccine," and now he says, "Now I'm gonna try to do independent movies." I want to just fill out everybody else's thoughts here. Go. Don't all jump in at once.
I mean, maybe he got the opportunity to deny $9 million.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But now he's talking about, I'm looking to work with some such and such and such and such. That means he wants that $9 million.
Yeah, I mean, everybody want money.
Well, now that they came out and said the vaccine doesn't stop the spread.
They knew that to begin with.
They knew that to begin with. Maybe the movie industry is more lenient now as far as whether or not they require vaccinations. And if so, then now he can get the movie made that he wants made.
Marlon.
What's the last Ice Cube movie that we went to go see in the theater?
The answer is nope. The answer is nope. Don't have that.
I don't know. Are we there yet?
Nope.
Friday 3?
That's not it. Nope. We didn't do that. Kevin Hart was in it.
I think Ride Along was the last Cube movie that hit the theater.
Ride Along? Yeah.
We haven't seen him since in a movie because he's been trying to get Friday off the ground, which everybody died in the movie. So that's not going to happen. The man got $9 million. He got his own basketball league. He got $9 million. He ain't worried about it.
Here's the thing about that basketball
Cube
league.
is not pressed for money. Cube got money.
If I could mention the basketball league real quick.
Okay.
It's in debt. And the deal that they have with CBS and CBS Sports is similar to, and this is Walt's territory. It's, we give you the inventory, we own the airspace. He can't sell the commercials because it's drawing that low. So CBS is like, you know what, we'll give our affiliates a bone during July and August. You put some programming on, and whatever you sell, you can keep. He can't sell it. He can't sell it advertising wise. It's not drawing anything.
Well, now he knows what the WNBA feels like.
The WNBA gets triple the ratings that his shit.
What does that tell you? What did that tell you?
Speaking of which, and Marlon, you may not be paying attention, but for my other Ray Love castmates, doesn't Courtney look a lot like Candace Parker?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, Marlon, you know what's up? Yeah, Candace Parker. Now she doesn't look as much like Candace Parker. When I saw Candace Parker trot out her wife the other day, it was like, oh shit, I didn't want to. Whatever.
Candace Parker bad. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that's bad.
She's hot. All right, so that's that issue. We were talking about Herschel Walker being a buck. I think that's obvious. I think Kanye West is the most fascinating man the past 15 years. Whether you love him or hate him, I think he's, everything about him is all the way out there, and yet he's kind of like Prince to me. There's something that he doesn't give you everything, so there's some mystery. So you don't know if he's bullshitting or not. It's always guesswork because he's so intelligent and intriguingly entertaining.
I feel like
Kanye.
I feel like Kanye was exposed to truth that he couldn't handle.
That's
so he's Saul from the Bible.
No. You got to hear what I just said. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you got Saul from the Bible from what I just said.
Handle it, and then he ended up dying.
I believe, because of his relationships to certain people, he was brought in and got exposed to truths that he couldn't handle, and he doesn't know how to articulate that. I also believe that at some point he was drugged in order to have a psychotic breakdown. And part of his confusion is part of that, just like they threatened that they would make him a vegetable again.
You don't think it has anything to do with him just deteriorating from the fact that he may have killed his mother and said, get this plastic surgery, etc. and so forth?
in from what Kanye said, his mother was sacrificed to prove a point.
Why are we listening to Kanye?
Not everything Kanye says is a lie.
No,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I agree with everything that Kanye says. I'm not saying some things he says doesn't sound like gibberish. But there's also a lot of things that they,
It's the way he says it.
It's the way he says it. But there's also a lot of things that when you see certain footage of him, there's a lot of things that they cut out, and you got to come back and see the things that they cut out. So I'm not going to say that I agree with everything that Kanye says because, you know, I don't want. Yeah, I'm scared of them. So, and I don't agree with everything that he says. I don't. I have the discernment to say what's real and what's true for me and not. But I think that I think that there's things that he does say that they don't want to be heard because he wasn't able to handle it when he got it, and he doesn't know how to articulate it.
I think that's fair because I think he's so on point with some of the stuff he says, but then again, a broken clock is right twice a day. And then the other stuff is just mulched up into some bullshit. That's some old man shit I just said right there. Marlon, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
But it's you know, the celebrities that, you know, are commenting on Kanye and his antics like Bootsy and all them. I think the harshest one I've heard was from Willie D. And y'all know Willie D. And y'all know how his
cleanup man.
What did Willie D say?
Nigga, Willie D was like, nobody sacrificed his mama. His mama died to get away from him. I'm like,
I'm tired of your shit, Kanye.
That is brutal.
Willie D do not have a filter. This man has no filter at all.
He's a cleanup man, though. He's a cleanup man, Marlon.
But also, like, you know, you got people that's on his side. I think I don't know why, but I follow Dr. Umar, and this has to be one of the funniest dudes I think I've seen on the internet. Did you see him giving out lashes the other day?
No.
He had a belt that was on live. It's like, Stephen A. Smith, you get 30 lashes for unbecoming a black man.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro. Yeah. He's like, Snow Bunny, Shannon Sharp, you get 40 lashes for unbecoming a black man. Pow, pow, pow. I'm like, yo, this dude is fucking off his rocker, but it's so funny. But it's on YouTube. You gotta go watch it. But you know, you got people that stand behind him, but you know, it's from a distance. They ain't gonna fully get behind Kanye because right now, when a crazy ass ex-president says you're crazy,
yeah, and he said that shit quick too.
I definitely feel like Kanye has some mental health issues. You know, and you can't fully. What Dave Chappelle did on Saturday Night Live was genius, and I feel like Dave Chappelle explained the whole Kanye Kyrie thing perfectly.
Mm-hmm. And Dave did it to the point where the craftsmanship of it, no matter, even if it's a bunch of Jewish people who think that anything, we're pointing out that 95% of the studios are Jewish owned and run and operated. He says it like, well, there seem to be a lot of Jews here. Dave has this brilliant way to do this.
Yeah, he was saying the same thing, but he wasn't saying it.
I am not going to comment on that because I still want to live and have a career. But I will say I will defer to Dave. I think Dave did it tastefully, and I think he articulated it in with nothing less than genius. And that's it.
I'm trying to get in here.
The views and opinions expressed by Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle are those of Dave Chappelle.
I want to say this real quick because you know, Marlon's a stand-up guy. Walter is a former stand-up guy.
I'm a former stand-up guy.
You ain't been. When the last time you been on stage?
What talking about?
I'm telling you about.
It's been about 2 years since COVID. COVID was the last time I was on stage. March 15th.
You're a journalist.
Was the last time I was on stage.
You're a journalist, so once a stand-up, always a stand-up. Marlon is touring right now. We're gonna get into his dates, and Ty is a bystander. And I've been on stage as a one-man show, and I've winged it.
You winged your one-man show.
Look. Here's the thing that someone told me: no one else knows what the fuck that script is supposed to say. So if you don't know it, as long as you can improv it and wing it, you can coast. It's a one-man show. There's nothing more perfect. And I've done that before. And some of them were some of the better shows. I'm not lying. Look me up. I'm on YouTube. Y'all see me.
I applaud you. I've always wanted to do a one-man show, so I applaud you for that.
You got characters. Because you're just bursting with stuff. I forgot what my point was. Oh.
You referring to Marlon. You about to talk about his tour.
Yes, we're about to talk about Marlon's tour. So Marlon, you about to go I looked at it as like 5 cities in 8 days or some shit like that. You moving. Like you got Maryville, Tennessee in their shit. But you also have like cities I've actually heard of. So where are you off to real quick?
I mean that schedule.
December 2nd is their first one, right?
Huh?
December 2nd is a date, right? Or is
that's a date. The dates that don't have a venue are the R&B dates. So that's Tommy and R&B on that schedule. So the ones that don't have like Chicago, Savannah, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, those are the R&B dates. So I go out with Shy. I road manage them now, and sometimes I get up and do stand up in front of them also. So it's them, Drew Hill, Bobby Brown, The Skate, Tevin, Monica, Tamar. It's a Silk. It's a solid lineup.
That's solid. Did you say L?
El DeBarge is back.
Oh,
hold on. El DeBarge been back 6 times by now.
Yo, they clean up L a week before he get on stage.
You are away my joke.
Yo, they find L butt naked in the street in Queens and be like, you got to perform tomorrow. I don't know how this dude keep his voice. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
L is the body double from Prestige.
They find that dude butt naked in Queens and be like, yo, you got the freaking BET Awards tomorrow, bro. We gonna they do it though. He does it.
This particular return of L, like he is back to himself. Like this, he sounds amazing right now.
It's one of the best voices in contemporary R&B.
I don't know how he's been able to. He's the only person I know that goes through what he goes through and retains his voice.
You know what it is?
Whitney lost her voice.
He's the real life Eddie Kane Jr.
But he doesn't get fat. You know, like other jokers get fat and they get exhausted.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah. And that voice goes away.
Bobby Brown had a stroke. That was part of him getting fat. It was after his stroke, man.
He was dipping his chicken in cocaine and frying it.
That's a real.
That was for the stroke. I'm just saying. L wasn't doing that. L couldn't afford all that coke. L had to rock that thing up.
I don't want to talk bad about these cats because they were so high up in my high school list of fellas I want to hang with. But now they're about on that S curve where I could touch them with my low level celebrity.
One of the first songs I remember singing as a child was Time Will Reveal.
Oh, that's a good song too.
It is a great song.
I remember L was one of the first people I remember trying to impersonate as far as vocally. I got my falsetto from L.
You never try to impersonate Bunny, the sister?
I could hit Bunny's notes too. When I was a kid.
I don't think Bunny can hit Bunny's notes.
Not now, but when I was a kid, I could hit Bunny's notes too. I could sing Rick James and Tina Marie.
So the last time and the first time I had Marlon on, it was the residual. Marlon took quite an interest because he would always send me snide ass comments on some shit I post about the male R&B bracket. This is my bracket. Now, before people start fussing at me, the 16, this is a bracket that was created by D Nice. So D Nice, this is your fucking problem. But we filled it out and I had my music expert. We went over it and talked about it, and that's what I got.
You had Guy beating Jodeci. That is completely, utterly insane.
Jodeci doesn't have any fast songs.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
No one wants to listen to their fast songs.
They have. You just said they don't have
the Jodeci fast song. Walter's thinking about it right now. I see it.
They had
No one
up-tempo
remembers,
songs on their first
Gotta
album.
Love. No one thinks about Gotta Love and shit like that.
It's funny because when Jodeci was signed to Diddy, one of the reasons why he dropped him is because he was like, y'all got to sing more slow songs, and him and Devontae started beefing about it. And so when they got signed to MCA, they really started cranking out the slow songs, and that's what like really catapulted them.
Man, every time I think about MCA, I think about Strictly Business.
My question was, who put the original rankings together? Because some of these people shouldn't be in the same bracket.
I really don't have Guy. I don't think I have. Do I have Guy beating Jodeci? I don't. Nah.
Guy got put in a really good bracket. They got a good ass seating. That's what it was.
I didn't put the rankings together, but this was D Nice. D Nice gave us the original bracket, and I said, okay, I'll fill it out, and it's fodder for the show.
You know what? Just because Guy has fast songs, Jodeci's slow songs was so quality that they
blew everybody out the water.
They blew I just.
But see, here's the thing. I'm
not putting Jodeci over Guy. I'll put it. Go ahead.
Well, listen, I really do believe this. Whether you and I'm not gonna like try to force my opinions on everybody. I really do think Drew Hill is the real problem. They're the Boston Celtics of Michael Jordan's Bulls. Drew Hill has so many songs.
They do. I agree with that.
They got so many songs. That would be more of the problem than Guy.
I would love to see a Drew Hill Jodeci versus.
Yes, that's the perfect verse.
That would be a hell of a versus, bro.
I had a versus in my mind too. I had Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Kool and the Gang. But they instead threw Earth, Wind, and Fire with dead people versus the Isley Brothers with live people. That shit ain't gonna work.
How did After 7 get up there?
After 7, that's like someone didn't know who else to put up in there. Marlon, what you thinking? You stewing over this. Would you put Shy instead of After 7? And would Shy make an advancement in this? If you put Shy versus 112, what will happen?
112 will win because they got more hits than Shy.
112 will win, right? Yeah.
That right there shows I'm not biased just because those are my boys. I'm like, hey, 112 would beat Shy in the verses because they have more hits, definitely.
So what I hated was that Mint Condition and Tony were the only two real bands thrown in here.
Yeah.
And bands versus the groups, it's tough to mix them together. Because I prefer to I've seen Mint Condition, I've seen Tony in a concert. They're both great. And I would watch them over all these jokers. But when it comes to the group shit, it's a different situation.
Yeah, I think that Final Four is off. A little bit.
All right, what's your Final Four then? Look at it. Look, you can figure this out. It's only 6
honestly, like, I loved Mint Condition. I love the musicality. I mean, Stokely, you can't, as far as like his range and his musicianship, you can't beat it. But if I got to listen to a whole Mint Condition album, or if you talk about how many hits Mint Condition has versus New Edition, I don't have Mint Condition beating New Edition as far as hits are concerned. As far as like musicianship and talent, yes.
But Walt, here's the problem.
But just as far as like hits, you're talking about from Candy Girl all the way to Can You Stand the Rain?
I agree.
And he beats Mint Condition on this joint.
But Walt, you need to readjust your mind. New Edition didn't have any of that shit come 1990. They were on a reunion tour. 1980s, if this was 1980s male R&B group, Mint Condition will be in there. And then they'd be fighting like the Whispers and the Gap Band and shit like that. It'd be a tougher damn division. But the 90s, they only had like an album, half an album, right? So
the Home Again album.
Yeah, the Home Again album with Johnny Gill trying to fold in with the rest of the boys who have better chemistry than him.
So
Johnny Gill does raise the talent level though.
So you're saying this bracket doesn't include any heartbreak?
It does not include any heartbreak.
Well then, okay.
Right. Then New Edition loses then.
Yeah, but we're.
And in fact, that's
so you're talking about
on my part. New Edition. I meant to put Boys to Men. Actually.
Yeah, I hated to say it, but I didn't know how they got past Boys to Men.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Boys to Men should have thumped the shit out of them. So if that's Boys to Men versus Mint Condition, though, that's a Donnie Simpson special.
What the fuck does that mean?
Let me tell you something about Real Music, by the way. Real Music ended once Donnie Simpson was fired from Video Soul.
I think J.E. got a bad break too, man. I think J.E. got a bad bracket.
Bruh, that's the Atlanta division.
Okay.
That's the Atlanta division. I didn't have anything to do with it, but it clearly created an Atlanta division.
I'm trying to think what other 90s R&B group was like cranking back then.
This list pretty much got everybody out the way for the most part. I mean, of course, they left out the intros and the H-Town.
Intro. Let me come inside.
Blackstreet.
Blackstreet's right there.
Blackstreet's there.
They're
like in a 2-7 division with guys.
You had that. You had As Yet. You had all them guys.
As Yet.
See, As Yet only had one song.
They did. I mean, but who on here got one song? I mean, yeah, they got one song. They do.
Yeah.
I can't even argue with that. But that's pretty much most of the groups. That's not all of them that matter. That's all the ones that matter.
Surface.
I think that Drew Hill Jodeci matchup is real close, and that could go either way. You know, I don't know who cranked out more songs in the '90s, who cranked out more albums, whether Drew Hill or Jodeci. But I just feel like that Jodeci is. I mean, man, that's a tough joint. But between Mint Condition and Guy, I'll definitely give it to Guy in the '90s. I feel like Guy's milk started in like '87 though, right?
Guy started in '87,
but their album didn't hit till '89, and I think they were accepted in the '90s Grammys. And then they only had like 2 years, and then after that it was like soundtracks. But so they barely got into the '90s.
Yeah, so that's Aaron Hall goes solo, and then after that, no more.
Yeah, because I don't really remember Guy hitting like that in the '90s. Now I remember that "Don't Be Afraid" album by Aaron Hall for sure.
Yes.
I used to bump that.
That's pretty much that's the groups. That's it. You know, because we're not including the women. So if you added the women, then that'd be a different story.
Well, if you mention the women, I do have a list.
Didn't some young R&B like kiddie groups come out in the '90s, like
Immature, Another Bad Creation?
Some young boys.
You had a ladies bracket. You had a ladies bracket.
I do. Yeah, we're working on a ladies bracket. These are what were listed and come up with by Roger Riddle. He'll see this and he'll start laughing at me.
Who's Jazzy Fat Nasties? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I remember them. I don't remember their song though.
I think I gave my number 1 seed to In Vogue.
I'm telling you right now.
Hold up.
Destiny's Child wins the '90s.
Hold up.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Shawn.
It's gonna end up with Destiny's Child and SWV.
Hold on. We got SWV. We got In Vogue. We got
Shawn,
Jeanne, and then we have Destiny's Child, and then we have TLC. We got TLC.
Sean.
TLC.
Sean, listen to Marlon, Sean.
Shawn.
I hate everybody right now. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
KP and Envy, Shorty Swing My Way. Are you serious?
Look, nigga, I didn't.
How did they make the list?
I said I did not make this. I actually laughed at him and said, I've never heard of KP and Envy on purpose.
Shorty Swing My Way? Really? Really?
No, he's a DJ and he's like, this is shit that's still in his crates.
That joint bumped, but that's all that they had.
You may as well put Vanity 6 in this motherfucker. You may as well put Vanity 6 up in here. But seriously, my top four seeds for the women would be TLC
and Destiny's
Child, SWV,
and In Vogue.
Escape
and In Vogue.
Ooh, Escape got to be up there. Escape had hits.
They're a dangerous 2 seed.
Escape had hits. I think
UConn in this bracket.
The UConn in this bracket, because UConn's always a 7 seed. It's probably Brownstone, because Brownstone will sneak up in there and knock a nigga out.
They only had one album.
They only had one album. They did.
They only had one album.
They had two
That's
albums. They had two albums. I actually bought the 5
Okay,
Miles.
you know what?
album.
They have two, but nobody cared about the second one.
I like the second one.
Nobody cared about the second album, bro. Nobody cared about the second album.
Listen, if he put on his glasses, no one cares about the second one.
We're talking about album after album. En Vogue had 2 solid albums in the 90s. They had 2 solid joints.
So this is
3?
my thing. I think En
Two.
Vogue.
2, right? They had 2 solid albums in the 90s. Escape
had 3.
Yeah, but we didn't listen to all those songs.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Marlon, thank you, bro.
Yes,
Thank
you did.
bro.
You listened to those songs.
You listen to all them songs from Escape?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. How many SWV albums did you care about? They also have 3 albums.
It's really 2 that I cared about.
Okay.
And once again, once Donnie Simpson stopped working, we didn't get the 3rd album push. I'm telling you, this is a real sociological.
That's not his fault. They started beefing after that second one. They ain't Donnie Simpson's fault.
The answer is, but guys,
SWV fell apart after that second album.
But what are we doing with TLC? TLC is the top selling.
Yeah, they was calling people scrubs, and it was broker than us.
Them bitches were selling out. I'm sorry, I said them bitches. Them rappers were selling out Japan stadiums. They were. It's Nikon Stadium, it's Nippon Stadium, and they sold that shit out.
So in reality,
I know y'all probably don't want to hear this, but was they really that talented though?
Who
when it comes to singing? TLC.
They wasn't a vocal group. No.
Now, remember, Destiny's Child was not actually all good singers. It was Beyonce and her stepsister and the 2 rotational heifers who will always be there.
So you act like Kelly can't sing? You act like Kelly can't sing?
No, Kelly can sing. She's 1B. Is Beyonce 1A, Kelly 1B, and then like they had LaToya, they had the other chick who
LaToya can sing, yo.
They had
LaToya can sing.
LaToya can't.
LaToya Lucky can sing, bro. She may not be like the best vocalist. She ain't no Kiki Wyatt, but she can sing, bro. LaToya Lucky can sing.
Walt, do you want to hear her sing though?
And you talking about TLC? Nigga, Toto can't sing. We be honest.
Toto can't sing at all. Toto can't sing.
Yeah. When it comes to longevity, like songs that you want to hear forever, on this list, it's gonna boil down to SWV. Oh my, and maybe Destiny's Child, man. You can't. Destiny's Child is gonna be in the final top 2, no matter what.
Red Light Special. I'm sorry, UGA. All we did was hear TLC because we knew those girls personally. TLC is very important to me as far as like girl groups of the 90s. And En Vogue, because I'm an En Vogue person, because I'm an old school man. En Vogue, it's like that's the Anita Baker for me.
En Vogue was the blueprint of girl groups for the 90s. Because before them, what girl group did you have that could all blow like that?
Everybody in En Vogue could blow.
Just like Jodeci, they were the blueprint for every group that came out after them. The Jagged Edges, the 112s,
except fast songs.
Come on now.
They didn't have any. Jodeci have a Jodeci song that anyone got in their Spotify right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's that En Vogue, Destiny's Child, Escape. Ooh, that's where it's at right there on this list.
It's completely different when you talk about hits versus vocal ability. That makes it a completely different argument.
If you want to do vocal ability, SWV who can out-sing Coco?
One of them girls from Escape.
I don't know about that, bro. Coco can hit Patti LaBelle notes.
The answer is En Vogue still. Whatever y'all question is, the answer is En Vogue.
Pound for pound?
En Vogue's up there too. They're way up there.
Yeah.
They're way up there. With their 2 albums, they way up there.
I mean, they up there. Vocal capabilities. Vocal. We're talking vocals right now.
I don't know exactly what the point of this was, but this was a fun conversation.
Hey, brothers, I gotta go anyway, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Nice meeting you, Marlon. Ty, we all got to get up and get it in.
Walt's leaving. Let's Walter find him at What Walt Can Do. If you want to get your boxing on and you're in the DMV, go to his gym and shit. Walt will hook you up and make you dangerous and shit. Walt, get the hell out of here.
I'm also in a play February 4th and 5th with Darius McQuarrie from Family Matters, Dorian Wilson from Monique's show, and it's going to be in the DMV area. Follow me on What Walt Can Do to find out more. It's called Rotten Apple.
We will be talking to him again before that show breaks out, probably right after his late night rehearsals. But it's a black play, so you ain't going to be rehearsing until like 3 days before it.
I'm not even saying that about that. Y'all be good, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Walt, talk to you, boy. Marlon is still here, but we got to wrap this up too. Marlon, you got a tour. Let's talk about the dates that you got going on and where people can find your information.
You can find me on all social media at Marlon Comedy, MARLAN. It's right there. Spell my name right. Otherwise, you ain't gonna find me. I got comedy and R&B dates, so mainly I go out with them, make sure everything's good. I may perform, may not, but I still put it on my calendar because I will be in that city. As far as comedy goes, I got a residency in Atlanta in January at the Laughing Skull downtown. So I'm there all month, hosting, closing out, featuring. So there's no excuses why you ain't gonna see me that whole month.
What you said, the Laughing Skull? Is that like where downtown is that?
That is in the heart of Atlanta, downtown. It is a mainstream club, and it seats about maybe 70 to 80 people, but it's a very prestigious club. And if you're in that club, then you're taken care of. You're good.
I might actually be there sometime next month. It depends. After I sell my spices and stuff. Marlon, that's that dude. Ty is that dude. I'm about to do a quick Shawn Says, and then I'm gonna end this show and we get the hell out of here. Ty, you still trying to get a drink or you done?
I'm done, man.
Yeah, see, I thought you were done. So you can hang around for Shawn Says. We're gonna do I'm gonna do an overtime right after this show. People who are watching on IG, you're fucking freaks. There's an actual show that you can actually watch, but whatever. And that's it. But I just want to say this real quick. Chadwick Boseman. Today is Chadwick Boseman's birthday. And you brothers, if you can, go ahead and mute your mics for a second. And I'm going to turn down this music because I want people to hear this thing real quick. Sorry, everyone. I don't have a producer, although I'm in talks to actually having a producer. Chadwick Boseman gave me hope, not generically, but literally, because he's from South Carolina and I'm from Georgia, and we are both Sagittarius of the same age. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize: when Chad died, people thought he was younger than what he was because his bio said that he was younger than what he was. He lied about his age. He was actually my age. He lied about his age by 2 years. And they corrected it once he actually died. And the man who played Rushmore of African-American men, from James Brown to King T'Challa to Thurgood Marshall and Jackie Robinson, he's gone. But more so, his absence exposes the lack of contemporary African-American men in Hollywood. In fact, Hollywood is only doing lately what it feels like the rest of America has been doing to the black man. And that's taking the word and inventory of everyone else except the American black man. And unless we are rapping or telling jokes or playing sports, our Negro ass is not to be heard from. We will patronize and nurture black women. Certain lyrics will heed to the plight of LGBTQ. Even overlook us and go overseas to find black Americans to play civil rights leaders who aren't black Americans, or lead in Jordan Peele flicks. Plural. Jordan Peele, you need to cut that shit out. 3 flicks now, you've had non-Black American. All right, get off of this shit. Or even just being Negroes from Cleveland. Queen and Slim, they're both from England. I remember everyone liking Judas and the Black Messiah. I didn't like it. First of all, he didn't look like Oh Boy. Secondly, he had to be taught what the strife was racially. And that's what Sam Jackson, Chattanooga born, Atlanta bred, was talking about. What truth are we really telling as artists when we get people who don't know the truth? The American situation with racism is unique, more unique than any other country in America, in the world. That is why Chadwick Boseman is our Black American everyman. He put his everything into the franchise of Black Panther, and you can see the difference of him not being there. He didn't go to Juilliard, he went to Howard. And to coin Mos Def, he was Black on both sides, unapologetically Black. And he was mainstream despite not scratching his head when it didn't itch and not smiling when he ain't happy and had nothing to laugh at. A few moons ago, before the cancer and before the shutdowns, Chadwick Boseman described himself as a Bible-toting, grits-eating brother. Quote unquote, that's it. Chadwick Boseman, you were way more than all those fine things. Greatness gone too soon. On your birthday, this man show, the Shawn Show, dedicated to you. I want to thank all my guests. Ty is my co-pilot. Marlon Ballard coming on. As usual, this man is $100,000. Please find him on his website and IG. Walt checking in, even with his shitty ass internet. Nando needing to come on because he needs to talk more in camera because he got a lot of good shit to say. And of course, Dr. Ira Antonio Davis providing the ish. Thank you all so much. This is the Shawn Show. Let me find my closing statement. And y'all are welcome to find us on IG for a second. Ty, you gonna be on IG?
Probably not, man.
Ty's done.
Time for bed, yeah.
Ty's gone to bed. I will be up, but we can talk about all these statements and more. But thank you so much. Next week is Shawnless because my birthday and it's also Christmas, and that will wrap it up for 2022. Next week, the Shawnless special. This is the Shawn Show. Wait a minute. What happened? The Shawn Show is brought to you by BodyButterBakery.com. Visit www.bodybutterbakery.com for beard and body oils, hydrating shower gels, nourishing body scrubs with popular scents like strawberry lemonade, mango and pineapple, and champagne apple and honey. Yep, all that and more at BodyButterBakery.com, a proud sponsor of The Shawn Show. The Shawn Show welcomes Live PS, Probiotic Skincare. Live probioticskincare.com/Shawn to take advantage of a 20% discount for a new skin cleaner that recharges with revitalizing cleanser, recovers with live probiotic serum, and protects with daily defense moisturizer. That's right, Shawn has been using this product for the past 4 months, and he recommends you do so too. Live probioticskincare.com/Shawn to get 20% off today. Live PS, a proud sponsor of the Shawn Show.